So we did a little bit of recapping before you arrived, Sarah.
Perfect.
As Xerox and Gray were absent last time.
Okay. Yeah.
But we left off. Resuming with Quilla having just provided the 2 commands through the effort of blood into Mount Minor Systems. And you guys deciding what steps to take next. You believe that you've delayed arrival at the Apoapsis Reverie by the first command of telling the mountain to go down and away from its previous trajectory. And then second, bought yourself some time from Vitaria or Badwards being able to complete their efforts, because you do know that Vitaria's backup plan, at least as communicated by Vitaria, doesn't need the mountain to be anywhere in particular.
Wait, does it?
Oh no. If you recall,
I just heard her say that she's gonna kill people, and I just figured that was
Plan A has always been get the mountain to where it needs to go so it can integrate with the greater Panopticon network. And then the background deaths of people just going on, being able to psychically ping and be aware of those events, would allow them to use the system, the communication array, to pierce the head into Ardenburg. When Sehim opens the door to go help those dead transition. Failing being able to connect to the network and through that connection identify when and where people are dying, to have that information to be able to basically attune the communication satellite in the right direction. Failing that connection, if you know exactly when and where a bunch of people are going to die, you already have that information.
Mm-hmm.
Kill everybody on the mountain, you know they're there, you know when they're going to die if you're pulling the trigger. That has been Vitaria's backup plan. So, but the second command to the system provided by Quilla was to separate or to take away emergency access or protocols from the communications array. And that's going to require, from what you guys understand, Vitaria or someone else to physically go to a location that still has that access, that emergency access, still has power basically, to then turn it back on in the communications array. So some amount of time for them to move to a location that still has power, some amount of time for them to either access that, to turn it on if it's Vitaria with deific words, or to hack the system, which is Samsarin, trying to just do it more with Arcanotech means. So that's some amount of time that they're going to have to take to get their access back turned on in the communications array before they can achieve any of their special goals. And of course, there's the final goal that the Samsarins shared with Vitaria, which is using the communications array also to help the Samsarins transcend the binds of time and space, and project them into a new realm beyond those confines, allowing them to transcend into a new form of life.
It's a new form of life.
Didn't we anticipate them being more Samsarins? But only the 2?
No,
we've killed the couple.
spied on the communication array, and there was a whole spider city of Samsarins.
So
I just heard about the webs. I didn't hear about any people up there. Did I miss something?
Maybe
I heard Mark describe
people.
See
any spider people.
Okay.
He says webs.
I presumed.
Webs and strange cocoon you know,
And I assumed that the two that we killed that one time in the
like
battle
near the
were-
center of the web, there was like kind of this like mass of all these like interconnected cocoons being like held suspended by the webbing.
And we killed two when we fought her in the other.
In the helm.
And I thought those were the two that brought us here.
That was unconfirmed.
Yeah, we weren't able to tell them apart.
Keep in mind that when you saw them in the, they were, at various times they had illusory magic over themselves. And then even when that was dropped for you guys to see them, they still had like this, this mask over their faces as well.
To hide their hideous form.
Or a mask of many faces.
So do we know where Victoria would have to access?
We have suspicions of we could probably figure out where the closest nodes to her are.
We'll probably have to expect
Because-
more of those like tablets as well.
What?
All the tablets in the rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We destroyed the three in this room.
And has she been defeated?
in the navigation chamber.
Has she been defeated?
No.
No,
She left.
she's still there. She's still.
Yeah, you guys, when they got into the engine room, they fucked Victoria's plans up. They did so well. Like, look, Victoria didn't even get a full turn before they had destroyed all the panels. Maybe she got one turn, but there was even a force wall they were able to teleport past and then just destroy all the things. When, as Victoria was showing up, and she real poorly on initiative, thanks to sharing Wazira's stats, at least some of them. But yeah, so but the last thing in that fight was, or one of the last things in that fight was Noose throwing a psychic dagger at Victoria's, image or thing, and it just sticking her on the throat, and that some amount of shock in that whatever happened there. You're not sure how much damage, if that's the right mechanic or whatever to think of it in. But something happened to Victoria, and that also caused Victoria to drop the concentration on the force wall that was blocking the door that initially challenged your guys' access to the engine room. So yeah, you guys kind of destroyed the panels. Patient, get down.
Hey.
Do it.
Thank you.
Destroyed the panels now in both the the helm, the control room, and in the engine room down at the top of the mountain, top base versus the bottom peak. Yeah.
Oh shit. Noose went back to the pilot plane, didn't he?
Yeah. I was gonna say just for we could if you guys want to we could just say that the Noose and the other two decided to go and get the Zephyr and take it to the top of the mountain to try and connect with Shippy and get Shippy at the bottom top and get Shippy into the right place to hopefully avoid the psychic drain that might be coming to consume and kill everybody on the surface of the mountain. So that's one way we could just, write those characters off.
Yeah, we got them.
Yeah, and also have them not be dead, at some point in the future because they forgot they didn't get to the ship or whatever.
Well, Quilla's kind of hurting.
Yeah, that's why Quilla has to go.
Yeah, that makes sense. I buy it.
And Noose.
And
Noose accidentally tied the noose a little too tight, and needs time to recover.
Noose, I told you.
You guys thought I was just pouting, sitting in the corner. We got beat up last night, so.
Right.
Thing I was going to say, there's no way of us to really know which way the bad one's gonna go, but we could spy on her again.
If we hurry up to the top, maybe we could meet her coming out.
I was thinking.
Or we could dismantle things in the communication array while she's gone.
Oh. We know that she has to go somewhere else. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Shit. Well,
So if she has to leave the communications array, we go into the communications array, which is on,
'Cause-
muck things up there.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Okay.
Peja, that's enough.
Anything that takes us closer to.
Let me see if there's something close to edge.
No, she's just on the prowl.
David, that's such a good idea. We could just take the elevator back.
Yeah.
We need to hurry. Anybody objections?
No objection.
Okay,
Good go.
game start. We're in actual, no more table talk and
No more old out of character
Yeah.
chatter.
Yeah, so the ship lurches, or the mountain lurches momentarily as Quilla's commands are taken in. You see moments later as you guys kind of gather together, you notice the force wall drops and you're able to, the rest of you were just, on the other side of the force wall, and then teleportation to get going there. So the rest of you rejoin the party, Gray and Xerox. And moments later, Quilla and Noose lurch out of that strange donut-shaped structure in the center of this engine room. We can get the map out again if anybody would like to see this room. We missed it last time. But in the center of it, there is this kind of donut-shaped room that is covered all the way around. And from the center of it. There was one prop that I got rid of, but there was this thing. Imagine like a tuning fork, but like pulled extremely wide, and then having 4 prongs instead of 2, spinning around this sphere of chaotic Zephyrus energy that's being just bursting into existence in the somewhere maybe 15 feet above the floor level, more near the ceiling, where the height of the donut thing is. But this immense 4-pronged thing's spinning around it incredibly fast and containing that energy by these bellstone control rods that are protruding out from each of those prongs. And that's controlling the shape and then projection of this magical energy caused by the Zephyr, fission reaction or something like that, this crazy interplanar potential energy just being released. And what you guys, like I said, discovered last time was that this sort of reaction, what it wants to do is just create a temporary portal to the plane of air and violently consume a bunch of stuff and then probably expend its energy and then just collapse in on itself. Without continual addition of material and containing that reaction. It's happening here. So this is definitely a place that if you really wanted to cause some serious damage to the system, you really could. And one other thing that Noose was following up, if you guys want to pull this thread any further, was trying to identify parts of the system that are not in the schematic that you have, because those parts will be related to the psychic stuff going on with the Samsarans and their particular project in the communications array. Noose didn't get too far, found that there are some components and stuff in this chamber that are drawing power potentially for that, or some amount of doing something with it. And in other systems that he's looked at, but just as a note, since Ryan's in here, to maintain that thread for the party.
So this is where we currently are?
Yes. Yeah, and out of that green donut, you saw Quilla and Noose stagger with Noose's rope tying them both together as they were, and you see that Quilla is drawn pale. And you see just blood dripping off one of her arms, and she is looking near unconsciousness or extreme fatigue with the blood loss that she's obviously just experienced. And we'll get underway with you guys making your plans from there. We'll just, like I said, have Quilla and Noose communicate all they need to and start heading to the elevator and trying to get to the top base of the mountain to connect with Shippy.
Boob is slightly distraught at her pale and bloody self, so he hands her a potion of healing. I have no healing spells today, but I have this.
Ray like pushes it back. I heal, and we'll throw a heal spell at Cure Wounds on her.
Yeah, she was down to like I think in the 20s or something.
Spent a lot of hit dice.
Yeah, I think it was like 13 or 14 or 15
Yeah.
or something hit dice.
She'll get 10 more HP. A
Yeah.
little more. She looks a little refreshed.
You see the bleeding stops. The wound that the first wound was bad. The second clearly self-inflicted wound is even worse, as like the first one failed to do the job. But they close enough to stop the flow of blood, and they
Just
stagger
have a
away.
good night's rest and you'll be right again in the morning.
One full rest will be fine. There's something in the air.
Right.
It just heals really fast.
Take a short rest, see how you feel.
It's magic.
So, the clock is now ticking.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do? As you know, somewhere else in this mountain, Vitaria is probably extremely frustrated with this turn of events, but is a very intelligent opponent, and is quickly, you are sure, figuring out how to get things back on schedule.
But what she wants is in the communications array,
Yeah.
and she has to leave. It makes sense to go there.
Yeah.
No.
We intercept her. That's what she must be stopped.
While we are going towards the elevator, I am going to take a quick glance around the room and see if there is anything, based on what I've studied of the schematics, that is clearly an addition. It'll be quick though, so it won't be.
In here, in this room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. You know that I'll say that Noose did say on their way out that they spotted some stuff inside the donut shaped structure. That's like the the control room for this whole generator and engine and stuff. So if that would enough that would be probably where you would want to your best lead is.
Okay.
But that also is a even more time investment.
Let's go.
Something you want to go? Okay. Heading towards the elevator?
Yeah.
Okay. You feel once again the psychic connection that Noose had set up with you that was active when you were here in the core area of the mountain fade away as they go back. They venture back out into the swirling psychic storm that is in this place, consuming that sort of magic.
I should pull out the shard again. See if it.
Here,
Just-
quill it.
She has mind blank casted on her. She's fine.
And you guys venture back out. It's once again, it's a very short journey to the elevator, and with the other objective in this place, off camera being taken care of by our absent members, that is getting some Zephyr fuel for Chippy.
Get the pellets, not the safe space.
See if there are any other keystone elements.
Browse. Take some time. Browse.
Excellent choice.
Other keystones.
He's taking notes.
Taking notes. They'll look kind of like this, Quilla, with your magical vision. And I'll show her all of my collection. So she can get a good idea of the vortexes of the weave around them.
Lovely. Excellent. And then you guys venture forth to the elevator. The system has gone back to its stasis, status, and you will need to basically hack another panel to gain access to the same way you did before. Previously, you were able to not only get access to the shaft of the elevator chamber, but able to turn the elevator on, access it, and have it like accelerate you through this place very rapidly, and that was a pretty solid check. So yeah, let's see what you can achieve this time.
I haven't had advantage. It's just triple proficiency.
Yeah, because you have the Arcana Tech tools.
Bray's gonna give him a bug and say, "Bug help! You've got a help pick." It's guidance.
Put the bug on the thing while I do my work. Take it and just set it there. Okay. It's about what I'd expect from a bug. So that's. Oh, how do I do this? 10, 22, 32, 33.
Yeah, this is practically second nature to you at this point. The systems in this place are becoming more and more familiar to you, and gaining like simple access and like overriding like simple controls and stuff is becoming more and more obvious.
Soon you'll be able to fly it.
You, the doors, this like low, wide doors of the elevator slide open. You guys gain access once again to the interior of one of the actual elevators. Having learned from the schematics that if worse comes to worse and you couldn't make the elevator go, you can always just like pop the hatch, get into the shaft, and like fly where you needed to go or whatever. But once again, Beep-Boop is able to get you guys into the elevator and command it to exactly what you want it to do, which from what I understand is deliver you as close as possible to the communications array.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like the way you like faintly smile when you say
I
that.
get excited about the game sometimes. That's fun. It's a fun game to play.
Please describe the Muzak that's going on.
Yeah.
Ancient Muzak.
It's like a lute.
It's all like arcane synth stuff.
I thought we sent Johan with everybody else. He's sitting there in the
It
corner.
makes me feel old and young at the same time.
They recorded this track.
Ah.
His music was pirated.
I'm just making a little note for myself here.
Wow, your deck is already done.
Yeah, there's a whole deck out
Wow, that is fast work.
You don't even have to worry about falling through it.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna fall off of it.
Don't do that.
Okay. So, with the access to the elevator, that makes what would have been, hours long hike, maybe like half hour long or 50-minute long flight down to about 5 minutes of listening to the somewhat now repetitive music of the elevator. It has a loop that's maybe about 3 minutes tops, so you're starting to hear some like stuff that's coming back around.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite communications array on the Citadel.
It's my favorite elevator. But you make excellent time. The elevator slows to a stop with barely a notion of awareness of that in your inner ear, and the doors slide open again, revealing a new place to you all.
What magic this? Go
Music?
inside. New place. Outside.
Right. It's an elevator, right?
Elevator?
Elevator. It
Elevator.
elevates.
Elemagic.
Yes. Elven magic.
Lifting magic.
Lift magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sort of lowering lifting magic.
Lifting and lowering, yeah, okay. It
It's a
goes
little
up and
bit of
down. Up down magic.
Mm.
Powerful up down.
Think of it like a big bug
I always
that
think
can
about it.
hover.
Dragonfly.
Yeah.
No,
It's a dragon.
no Ella magic.
With more secrets of the arcane revealed to Gray, doors open and stay open long enough for you all to disembark. You had more than enough time to like review the schematic and like know what to expect upon arriving at your destination here and how to get from the elevator to the actual like communications array chamber. You exit into what is more like one of these like utility access hallways than anything else. This is at the the very bottommost pit of the mountain at its peak, and you guys yet must descend further into the actual communications array. The elevator spits you out not more than like 100 or so feet above that chamber, but you are going to have to traverse down. You know that there are two different ways to get there. There's like basically like a ladder, like this like utility access chamber that has basically a ladder and different like little like tunnels that go out to access different like sub elements of the mountain. But there's also a much larger like spiraling like ramp that goes down that allows like more large thing access to the area. It's a much longer journey to at least to go by foot. In either case, you are potentially looking at a space that you could fall or fly through, given you guys are all level 16, so you have all sorts of things you can do. But yeah, how would you like to proceed?
Looking at the schematic, can I tell which direction, like how to go in a way that won't get us close to where Vitaria needs to go? Like, what's the closest nodes to her that she could possibly access at this point to do what she needs to do, so we can avoid running into her while we.
The close node, you know that Vitaria's going to have to access a node from a place that still has like emergency access to power, and that most likely means going pretty close to at least the helm or in that area, kind of in the middle of the mountain. So Vitaria would have to go far away from the this place.
Okay.
If Vitaria was walking, they'd probably be looking at like an hour potentially or a half hour of like hiking to get like that to make that journey. You don't expect Vitaria with all their power and access to magic and the deific access to the mountain would probably be subject to that, having to walk. So you're left to your own imagination.
She's not on this level.
As
That's
far
what I'm
as
really
like
getting.
cutting her off or something, or being worried about that.
Her body has to go because she can't teleport into there. So we're safe. What's the fastest way down?
Let's look. I think the ladder?
Let's take the ladder.
Okay.
You said yeah, we'll take the ladder.
You sound uncertain. Do you want to go down the ramp?
I was just saying we could potentially fly, but let's take the ladder.
I don't want to
Yeah.
overextend myself.
I also don't want to overextend myself.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys follow the schematic and quickly duck down passageway and make a quick turn or two before you find what looks like a not noteworthy sort of like supply closet or something, just kind of like wedged into a nondescript location. And like in all the other places, like throughout this mountain, many of these like rooms and stuff have descriptors or like some sort of like identifying like thing, like to tell people who could read this language what that room is. And this is no other, but I don't think you have anybody that can just read it offhand with you. But following the schematic, you open the door. Actually, this would be locked, and probably not going to be an insurmountable task, but could cost some time. Gray, I believe, is your top lockpick in the group. Do you want to take this on?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Can I help him?
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much for the bug from last time. Here's my lucky piece of thread that you can
Lucky
take.
thread. It, like ties
It's
around the
always very
lockpick.
helpful as I cast guidance on him as well.
This is a sleight of hand.
Yeah, do sleight of hand, and you can add your proficiency again for thieves' tools.
15, 27, 28.
28's more than that.
Lucky string.
Yeah, you with the help of the little bit of yarn tied to your lockpicks, you quickly move on. You could swear that's helping. It's like a counterweight or something of the yarn, something. It's just like it's moving so fluidly in your hand. And within moments, this thing does not keep you guys more than, even more than a minute as you guys bypass this lock, get into the small kind of cramped little like utility chamber inside with, has some like shelves and things of, again, like these like old tools that you have like no idea what they are. They are so like strange to you that they don't intuitively sort of like display their intent for their usage to you. Similar to like the tools you grabbed, it's taken some time to like play with them to figure out like, oh, this can do like all these sorts of things. And again, so like you're in this place like some sort of utility chamber that has like some tools and things that have some purpose for repair or maintenance of the mountain, you would guess. But none of them look like anything. They're just like these strange shapes, and there's like parts that like look like there's like something that's supposed to be like extended past, but it's just not there. And like this, like it looks like a hand tool, but no like blade or implement or anything. It's like weird things like that. But more importantly, it gains access in the ceiling and the floor to a ladder that goes and extends beyond this chamber in both directions. The communications array is down.
So you're just gonna pick up some of these tools
Sure. Yeah.
for later investigation.
Xerox is going to fireman slide down the ladder.
Absolutely.
That was pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
What's a
Where to go
fireman?
first and follow struck guidance.
Well, where you grab the outside runs. And then, what's a fireman? Thank you. Following a little behind.
It's all right. We got there. Came full circle.
Your party begins to descend. Sliding down the ladder rapidly, taking the lead. Xerox, it's not long before.
Just collide with Vitaria.
But you can't attack on the ladder, game mechanics, so you just like stop until somebody goes to the bottom.
Doing awkward video game mechanics where some character goes on top of each other.
Start sliding through one another.
Yeah.
Like I'm somehow standing on their head.
It's not long before Xerox, you come to the bottom of this well of this tunnel basically that's just like going up up beyond sight for you really, but you were in an open space that this is another utility access or usage chamber, and you see that there are rows and rows. The chamber's largely dark, but you see through the dim sort of light in here, you can see that there are rows and rows of shelves with these panels that look very much like the transubstantiation panels and some of the other enchanted sort of things that you've seen in this place, and very similar to what Noose was able to describe from their sight into the communications array, which held, in addition to that, like slowly moving like mass of cocoons and spider web and stuff. There was also like this like these like banks and banks and banks of what looked to be like mirrors almost. It's like, you know, kind of polished, maybe like stone or metal or something. But again, like you've seen in other places with this sort of technology, this like arcanotech stuff, like some sort of enchantment like engraved into the surface of the like mirror tablet. And in this like room you're in, you see like dozens more of these that are from what like quick inspection, like the ones facing you don't have anything engraved on them. They might be like replacements or backups or something.
Okay.
It looks like you're in some sort of like storage chamber, probably like from its schematics right, and from what you can tell, abutting the actual communications array itself.
So I'm in a storage chamber that's like directly adjacent
Yeah.
to communications. So I'm going to step away from the ladder, wait for my companions to come down, and I'm going to.
Gray's butt hits you on the shoulder. You're already sitting there.
I'm just like sitting on your shoulder now.
Okay, I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open for any movement or anything that I can hear outside. I'm not going to open the door just yet. I'm going to wait for my companions.
Yeah. One of the two to give me a perception check. The remainder of the party takes maybe a little bit more slow and steady.
Try to
gait.
imitate Xerox.
You like very quickly almost fall. Catch yourself.
25.
What'd you get?
I got a 9.
9. Gray, you see that there are immense like web cocoons in the corners of this chamber and like hidden in like hidden back in like recesses and stuff. The size probably at least the size of you, like in the fetal position. Like each of these like little like, cocoons is like probably like 3 to 5 feet large. You see like 6 of them in this chamber, but with the 25, they're dried out husks. These have been abandoned by whatever they held.
Does Gray recognize what cocoons these things potentially belong to? With his vast knowledge of
That
insects.
roll, what you quickly notice is that the like outer, like, you know, some of it's kind of dried and desiccated, but like the parts of the cocoon that were like proper like silk and stuff, very similar to the clothing that the Simpsons were wearing.
Gray whispers down to Zero. Old husk. Maybe not bread.
Xerox will, taking note of what Gray has pointed out, will walk up with her javelin and kind of prod it, just to make sure nothing's.
A few sparks of lightning come off of it,
Yeah.
but the cocoon itself is dried and it like collapses as you prod it too much, and it just empty inside.
Grab for beat boop.
Xerox will kind of smirk at this and grab a little bit of it and shove it in one of her pockets.
Yeah, if you're able to take like one of these like full cocoons, it's like probably like this big if it were like full, like this kind of like egg-shaped sphere. But it like, you know, collapses and kind of crumples in on itself. Has some desiccated like gross stuff in there too, but you could, you know, definitely a lot of like good silk that can be separated out.
Xerox will try to keep an eye out and just be hefting her javelin, just waiting for something to pop out. So
Gray's still standing on Xerox's shoulder, just like also keeping an eye out.
Give me I assume that as you guys come into this space, you are trying to keep things quiet.
yes.
Give me a stealth check, please.
Oh damn.
This will be all of you, as each of you has added to the scene.
Oh my god.
Already?
That 20 for a 30.
Oh, I'm not quiet.
Oh, shit.
That's a 9, buddy.
Stupid disadvantage.
So a 30, 9.
10.
Alright, hold on.
Yeah, that's a 9.
You got a what? Sorry, Bill?
10. Which is
Zero.
such a great roll for
The
me.
clanky.
Yeah.
Clanky crew
Disadvantage.
strikes
14.
30 and 9, a 10 and a 14. Yeah, there's a moment when like Gray, you see Xerox like stowing away that cocoon. Beep Boop like lands on the floor here with a bit of a thud that you're worried might have made too much noise, and you like look back at Beep Boop and the descending form of Nazir to like make sure they're quiet. And at the same time, Xerox over there like bumps into one of these panels. It goes boom, boom, and falls down on its side and then flat onto its face.
Well, they know we're here now.
Maybe. We haven't seen any like animals or creatures down here, right?
Not really, yeah, you saw some like bug and insect life and stuff closer to the exterior of the mountain, but here in the core there hasn't been, I mean there's been a few things, like you also saw those like weird spider monstrosities and stuff.
Babies.
So there's definitely like some stuff down here, but you haven't seen a lot of like naturally occurring like, actual insects and stuff. Just, things that you would find in here would probably be some weird monstrous thing that has adapted to this place in some gross way.
Gray's gonna cast Druidcraft and make like a cat noise. Meow.
It's just a cat walking around going.
Fantastic. Are you doing that like, you guys are in this room, there's a door between you and the like communications array chamber. Are you doing like projecting this like to try and be heard on the other side?
Just near it in case something's close by,
Sure, give me a little deception check with this. Or a performance, we can say. Either one.
With disadvantage. Oh, nat 20 and a 15, so 17. Oh, another nat 20. Wasted.
You guys hear the sound of the cat, and then quiet fills the space. Aside from the like background kind of hum of the mountain and the Zephyr Drive running, you don't hear anything.
Great with those jokes.
Xerox will just kind of shrug just so that Gray moves up and down.
I start pointing forward.
You're still on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Or her shoulder.
Yeah, it's still going through with this. So
Sure,
I'll
it's pretty
approach
stinky.
I'll approach the door.
Mm-hmm.
Inspect it first. Does it appear to be locked or anything?
Yeah, like looking at the door, like give me an investigation check.
Can I aid with this?
Yeah.
Since I'm right next to him. We can roll with advantage, or I guess should I roll?
Either way.
Investigation 17.
17. You don't notice any like traps or anything on the door, mechanical or like arcane signs of arcane stuff. It will, jiggle does not appear to be locked. It's supposed to be Spelljammer atmosphere music, and it's like here's a little Shire tune from Holiday, or from Lord of the Rings publisher.
I'm going to cautiously push it open. See what I can see.
Okay. You guys want to get the communications array map up on the board. Sarah, here's helps.
Thank you.
Anybody need a name?
Yo, soy and me, please.
You want to be this
Yes.
Not intimidating at all.
primed guy?
You just did this to
See-
trigger.
We couldn't let this map go to waste.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just trying to trick a shell with this.
So, yeah, perfect. You guys can like place yourselves like in like coming through this chamber here, and you will spy
With my little
a
eye.
door there, and probably can't see this, but there's a door there.
And this goes down, right?
Oh,
We're
right.
at the top looking
I
down
forgot.
and it spirals down.
I ducked so that
Yeah.
Ray could come through the door with me.
I'm gonna give myself another heal.
So we want to draw us a guide here for this chamber to help remind us, because this chamber opens at the bottom of the mountain, so it's at the very like tip of the mountain, but remember the tip is pointing down. So as you guys enter this chamber, you're entering at near the top of it. Even from this like access, it's tough to do a 2D map for a very tall 3-dimensional space that's kind of also like this cone shape. But there's like a space from where you can see that the chamber goes kind of down and in, following like the interior of the mountain. But there's beyond that, there is the space where the like Aegis shield has like unfolded itself to become this whole like satellite dish sort of thing at the base. So absolutely yes. So you guys are at like the top of that cone that only goes down like halfway before it just opens into space below you. And as Quilla has sent the mountain down and away, you hear as the doors open, you hear like the rush of air moving past this chamber, and you see, instead of the earth below the Noose saw, you see that it's now like pointing up out into space. So you just see this like now like hazy but like expanse of stars and stuff that's now being kind of light from the air and atmosphere that you were like coming back down into is blocking some of that clarity. But you see just this like kind of like light, kind of dark blue kind of expanse of dim stars that are fading as the mountain falls lower. So you guys are now upside down in this thing with like your feet are like facing the stars, your head presumably is facing towards the earth somewhere below you. But down in this chamber goes, it's like follows this kind of cone, so you can kind of like wind your way or like, clamber down through this space. That whole area has this like large like bank of mirrors and stuff that are like set into it. Like part of the webbing is like connected to all the like the structure that's holding up the mirrors in this space. So as you guys look into this room, you see again an expanse of space and stars far below you as this chamber is open. Ahead of you, you see the anchor, these like thick web, like anchor webs, like connecting to the wall around you and to this like structure that's holding these mirrors in place, or these like enchanted like tablets in place that are some sort of like, if you had to guess, like enchanted with the like sort of like communications stuff that this thing was supposed to be doing, and it's for its job in the Panopticon network. Probably some like weird Arcanotech way of like automating like messaging spells and like sort of like things like that, like inscribed into this array of mirrors and stuff.
So the mirrors do match up to what I know about the schematics, that they're supposed to be there, not added.
Yeah, the mirrors you see that there are supposed to be many of them here. You know from what you know of the system and from the chamber you were just in, if the Samsarans wanted to change the actual like enchantments or like the actual magic that the communications array is doing, they would probably have to like replace or like put in different enchantments into those places. So to like with the Arcanotech, they would like inscribe their own enchantments on blank panels, put those panels in place instead of these other ones that were already there, or add on to it. The difficulty in this place is your vision is somewhat obscured into like the core of it, where a lot of these mirrors are, because the webbing is like so like is covering so much of it, and like is like strands of it are like going throughout all that structure that's holding the mirrors up, and like in some places is like connecting to those, you know, the mirror enchantment things themselves. So like seeing into this place in any great detail is difficult because of just this tangle of webs and cocoons and stuff in the interior of the space. So that was a lot. Yes?
Can we see any panels currently?
Yeah, you can see like bits
Not
and
like
pieces
not
of them.
mirrors, but like panels similar to
Transubstantiation array panels?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe. Actually, I can't remember if News identified those. You can give me a perception check. It will be difficult because of the obscured, you know, of the obscuration in this place.
Does difficult mean disadvantage?
Anybody who wants to look for transubstantiation arrays.
Or does difficult mean
It will be. Let me see.
a higher DC?
Obscured.
12.
We'll call this. Some of this is heavily obscured, some of it is lightly, so do it with disadvantage for the lightly obscured portion.
With disadvantage.
12.
12.
18.
18.
How's everyone's health, by the way? Is everyone full or more or less full?
No.
22.
I'm gonna cast.
The two of you do see one.
Prioritize healing them as opposed to me.
I'm gonna cast Aura of Vitality. For 1 minute, I get to use a bonus action to heal one person up to 2d6 hit points.
He's busting out the weeds.
That's great.
As is traditional, we'll just use some garbage for the transubstantiation panels, as we've done for each session. You do see one that's below you over here.
I got 6 heals to hand out. I'm gonna start with Xerox just because you're gonna get. I know. You're gonna get 3, and then you're going to get 4, and then Joel you'll get 7. Okay, we'll get 6. Here, I'll give myself a 6.
What spell is this?
Aura of Vitality.
Oh,
Healing
it's
energy
so
radiates,
good.
yeah,
Mhm.
from you in aura of 30 feet. You can use your bonus action to cause a creature, including you, to regain 2d6 hit points. So-
So you're like
yeah.
having been doing this in the.
It's 1 minute, so yeah, I'll just
Okay.
passing them out.
Mhm.
Who's looking worse off out of the two of yous?
I have 69 of 81.
I have 100 of 131.
The hero is going to get additional 7 HPs.
Thank you.
Great help.
Oh, that feels better. Thank you, Greg.
There's little like bugs carrying stuff to you guys, like little tiny healing potions.
The catch is to get the healing, you have to eat the bugs.
Yep. They've actually been drinking the healing potion, so.
Yeah, they're infused.
Yeah.
You like cast the healing on the bug, and it like grows back end grows out like a tick. All this juicy healing energy.
Just bite into it.
I don't like this anymore. Can I get back my healing?
You just bite the back, you throw the rest away.
It doesn't count if you throw up.
Yeah. Warriors?
Actually,
I mean, if you're giving them out.
I gave you guys. I let you all like give the perception check, even though at that point I guess we'd really only had like Zero kind of like crack open the door to like look inside. So I'll just say that like Xerox saw that, but you guys are all still in the chamber back
Okay.
here. But further inspection will require a little bit more.
So,
access and stuff.
for my information, moving around, like if I step this way, I'm going down.
Yeah, so like you
You
see
can go
that
out and down.
I really should have done like multi-level.
No, that's fine. You can go out into it, but you can also go down at the same time as type of the deal.
Yeah, so there's like you can imagine like in these areas in the corners there's like
like a section that's like at your level, and then to go like deeper, it's like, you know, like go stepping down like feet, and then stepping down, and then stepping down and down and down, and then like till you get like right in here, where it's just like open to space below.
And there's a web like above us, or
The web is like connected, like has strands up to the ceiling and like up to the walls and stuff
it's
all
just
around
over
you,
the place.
but it's like supporting the main structure of it that's below you. And like all those like massive cocoons and stuff that's at its center is like at the center of this room, where all these like mirrors and stuff are kind of pointing.
Okay.
Cool. Can see it in the mind's
So
eye.
yeah, so if you want to mess with mirrors, that's kind of like in this kind of like structure that, imagine you guys are like up here, it's like kind of like all in this space, like this like structure holding up all these mirrors and like panels, and then inside that is the main hub of the cocoons and webs and stuff, but the webs like again go holding themselves up all around the space.
And the panel that we can the access node, I forget what to call it.
Control panel?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Is-
that New saw Bad Words using it, but up on the ceiling. So
okay.
Bad Words is like, you know, had been like on the panel that similar to the other ones. It's like this, but it's like up here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Above
up on the
us.
ceiling. Yeah.
She was upside down.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Cool. I want to get in here.
Is there any sort of movement
Is it clear?
or anything we see?
Can I go in?
It's not
All
clear,
at this
but you
point,
can go in.
all we have is what
Okay.
Xerox is reporting back to you. Was Xerox like opening this up to
Do
make
you see
sure
anything more? Do you
nothing's
see
fucking-
movement?
Beep Boop wants to slip past and be in the space.
People just like
I'll let you two settle that
As is typical.
and tell me what happens.
Are we waiting for anything? We have moves to make.
Let's go. Xerox will, I'm assuming, Xerox trust your judgment.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
what's our strategy?
First things first, get the panels down so she can't come back quickly.
Okay.
Panels down.
Big bugs, look out. Big bugs. Great size bug.
Samsarans?
Maybe?
Well, if we're going to be making noise by taking out panels,
There's got to be at least 3. There's been 3 in every room.
okay.
Destroy 2.
I'll
See if
point
we
out
can
the
keep
one.
one.
I'll point out the one that I saw.
Actually, keeping one doesn't. Yeah, see if we can keep one. I'll see if I can take it down.
Why do we want to keep one?
If we win, I want to be able to replicate the technology.
So you want it to be disabled, not destroyed.
Yeah, preferably.
Is that panel below us or above us, Mark?
It's below you.
I'll go get that one.
More rooms, more panels?
I think we've just potentially
Panel bad.
panel bad when bad people use it.
Xerox,
Bad people using it.
as Beep Boop Boop's doing that, Xerox is going to keep an eye on the
Bad
mass
people
of
are using it
things
now.
and
Bad people
things
Mm-hmm.
are gonna die eventually.
covering.
Yeah.
Moves
Everything
into
dies.
covering position.
Okay.
And
So
then
you,
good
you
people
go
might
into
need
this room,
to do good
and
things.
you're like, just make sure nothing bad is coming
Okay.
from that area.
Think about it. If we could have one of these on shipping,
Xerox swings the door open wide enough to slip through.
you could be everywhere
it's
all at once.
Beyond
I'll
grace
go
of
too.
thought.
And I'll be looking for the panels.
Xerox says, you come in here, give me a perception check.
Am I still riding on his shoulder?
Oh yeah,
20.
if you'd like to be.
Of course.
20?
That was 16.
Yeah, so, old tricks never die.
Wow. Heavier than I thought it was gonna be.
You come into this chamber, the two of you, you slip in and you hear the roar of kind of that, you know, what seems like just passage of air at the open mouth of this giant chamber. You look down, you look up, trying to take this all in. Xerox,
something in your ear. Some of the roar is not coming from down below in the air. It's coming from above you. You look up just in time to see a small bead of glowing light
No.
that's been waiting.
No. She's smart.
It's been used before, it's been used again.
It was used before, but it was stopped.
And I'm gonna need initiative. That perception is enough to give Xerox a chance to respond to this, which may help with both of you. This noticing it though is gonna cause this to erupt before anybody else comes out of the chamber. This is a delayed blast fireball once again, and the flames will like project into the chamber, but I will give anybody who didn't come out advantage on their saving throw against this.
Can we shut the door shut?
That'll be kind of part, so like if you make the save, it'll be kind of like you were able to block yourself or like jump out of the way of
Or-
the direct blast of the
Okay.
fire.
Alright.
Let me just double.
Deck save?
Yes, dexterity saving
Oh, do I
throw
need to
with
make it?
advantage, except for Xerox and Gray,
I have fairly safe.
which gives you advantage. Great.
A very feral character.
What's that mean for Gray, who's holding on to Xerox?
You didn't notice it,
Yeah.
so I think. So yeah, you'll do it with advantages or disadvantage as well.
Aw, I thought they'd negate since he was moving fast and I'm holding on to it.
Yeah, it's like it's like dexterity because like there's a chance that you with Xerox's sudden urgent movement you could tumble off as well. So like maybe that save is also just you holding on to Xerox as Xerox dives to safety.
That'll be a 26.
6 is definitely going to save.
20 is my save.
Double check here. You got what?
26.
26? Yeah, that saves. 20?
20.
That fails.
No, I fail.
Wow.
Fail.
Fail.
That is
Fail.
a high level.
The very high level.
It's a very powerful
with
source
a
of
very
life.
high intelligence
Yeah.
being this creature. I was going to character sheet so I could roll this digitally because that's a lot of dice.
I'm not raging. This sucks.
Good thing I'm resistant to fire damage.
Oh yeah, so was Gray, I just remembered. Oh, that's a lot of dice.
That is a lot of dice.
Okay. For those of you who failed, that is 50 points
What?
of fire damage. A delayed blast fireball, I believe, starts at 12d6 and then increases per round while it's waiting to go off. Your guys' arrival let Vitaria know you're here. Vitaria is definitely still in this chamber.
No! Why is she
Sarah
here?
thought that you'd seen cast spells and stuff. This is, from what you would guess, beyond their capacity. This is a powerful spell. And we'll have you roll initiative as well.
I'm disgusted right now. Yeah, that's right. You roll crappy for your initiative. You roll crappy, Mark.
I mean, some things
I
are
won't be sad about it.
true of just as true of Vitaria as they are to Zero, and that's terrible initiative rolls typically. Xerox.
16.
16 for Xerox. Nazira.
15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Beat
6.
6.
Yeah, I know.
I got 8.
Oh,
I know. Hopefully she rolled very low.
that one.
8. Okay. So,
Your heels might have just saved my life.
Might have?
with that, yeah, this immense explosion erupts from just a handful of feet basically above your head, Xerox. You try and dive
wait.
out.
Absorb elements reaction.
Oh shit! Absorb elements is a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Can I take that?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome.
That does.
Halves it, right?
I think so. Resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of your turn.
Oh wait, no. I already have resistance. Oh wait, no.
So the first time you hit with a melee attack, you get an extra 1d6 fire damage.
1d6? Wow!
Alright,
Infinite power!
So I get 25 hit points back.
That is awesome.
Which
Huge. That
really
is so
helpful.
good for a reaction and like a
Yeah.
level 1 or like
Level
low
one?
level spell. Jeez,
Yeah.
it's so good. Yeah, so you try and like dodge or dive out of the way to try and get you and Gray to safety, but the fire blast erupts.
I've been waiting this whole campaign to use that spell. but
I
I've
know,
never
it's like
used
one
it.
of those ones that's like you. It's like
I
it's so
need it.
good.
I need
but,
to have it memorized every time, but
well, yeah, 25 HP in a significant scenario is
yeah,
quite
is
good.
that like 21 or something?
Awesome. So yeah, you guys have tracked your damage. Gray still on your back as you try to jump out of the way, but didn't get far enough to avoid the damage.
I'm blaming it on
Yeah,
Gray.
somehow Gray made it out of the
Yeah,
way.
actually,
Yeah, he like Xerox jumps, like trying to dodge out of the way, then Gray jumps off Xerox's shoulder, pushing her back far enough with the jump. Gray like projectiles into the chamber, but leaves Xerox outside.
Think.
And we will begin combat. In this moment, you still do not see your enemy.
Is she invisible?
And you know that there is this like some amount of strangeness to these cocoons as they kind of like pulse and shift slowly in their web. You alright, love?
Oh yeah, I thought it was nice outside. I opened this window.
Define nice.
I'm gonna use
and-
the third eye to see invisible creatures.
Is that a action or something to activate?
Once per turn. Yeah, it's an action. Okay, never mind. I'll wait.
Great use of your turn. Xerox, so you're up first. Zero, you're on deck.
Xerox will be frantically as she like shakes off her singeness. Will use her bonus action to apply into rage.
Actually, sorry, at the top of this fight, we just want to take a quick 5 or 10
Sure.
pattern break and stuff
Yeah.
before we get into
Yeah, for sure.
That's fine.
No, Mark. I don't want
These are still inside here, right?
saw some
Yeah.
homebrew rules once for slings, which I really like. Because slings like are awesome weapons, and historically they're like incredibly useful and accurate and have great range and stuff. But yeah, I remember reading some like cool homebrew rules for slings to make them not terrible and actually reasonably decent builds.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm always happy if you guys have some concept and stuff. I'm always happy to, help like bridge the gap between terrible rules and fun concepts.
Next campaign,
Yeah.
we'll talk. Or if you ever kill Beep Boop, and I don't feel like bringing
When
this
I
back.
feel deep.
When you, it looks like you might be working on it actually right now, quite literally. Thank goodness one of us can bring somebody back from the brink of death.
Took like a third of my health.
Gotta get you when you're not raging.
Not raging. Yeah.
Surprise!
You sneaky.
Okay. So we will resume. It seems that perhaps Vitaria did not take the bait and is still here waiting for you guys. You guys
We
have
chose wrong.
arrived,
He read us like a book.
fallen into a little trap. You're not sure how long in the making, but currently effective in its deployment against you. The fireball has exploded. You guys all dove for cover, and we
Shit.
resume in the aftermath of that with Xerox.
Can I ask a question before you say that?
Oh, be generous.
Did
Of
our
course.
birds made it back last game and we
Mhm.
kept them with us, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I gotta roll a goddamn check for my
check.
bird.
For check.
Anyways, continue.
Can it
I'll work on
survive?
deciding whether or not my bird is still alive.
Like, can it even survive?
Yes.
Is Hootsworthy still alive?
Who's worthy is
Hootsworthy comes out when Hootsworthy needs to be here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Hootsworthy's in a coat pocket.
Frolicking in the Feywild.
Yeah.
So Xerox is going to.
Did we have disadvantage? No.
Do I see any handholds up higher?
Or are the like, can you walk along the slope?
Natural 20 for the bird. And hesitation. Takes no damage.
Bird medium yard, so much not catch fire.
It's magic.
You've made
there
of
was-
yarn? That's fantastic. I did not know that. I love it.
It's really cool.
You were asking if they're like handholds. What are you trying to do?
Like, I'm trying to get up to I'm trying to go up
Up?
towards. I wanna get up high. I wanna throw my javelin at this thing.
And that's below you right now.
Okay. I'm gonna throw that first and try to go up and grab onto something.
Yeah, because of the innumerable webs like just stretching out through all this place and like connecting to the walls and like to the the
Okay.
thing that's holding the mirrors and everything else. Like there's like basically nowhere in this space that you cannot climb to.
Okay. Excellent. I'm just trying to decide if I grab the web, will I be able to let go? All right. I'm gonna fly up to. I use my bonus action to fly into rage. I'm going to. In range, I'm going to recklessly throw my javelin of lightning at
Okay.
this thing. Because I don't learn lessons. That is 28 to hit.
That hits. That just hits.
Just hits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
These things have a decent AC, being solid inanimate objects made of enchanted stone or something.
Okay. So that is 9 points of piercing damage to go with. I've forgotten how to add.
It's complicated.
13
Alright.
points of lightning damage.
So 22 total.
22 total.
Oh god, did these have 25 or 20 HP? It's on this paper. This is why my organization method, which is non-existent, is so helpful.
It's working. Don't worry about it.
I'll go with, just look at that specific for us. I'll go with, no, it was a different number. It was 20 AC, so the 25 HP. So that, you do 22, not quite enough to destroy it. But you see a large crack forming throughout this, this transubstantiation array panel.
Since I see that it's cracked, I'm gonna throw a mundane javelin at it.
Okay.
Oh, what a mundane javelin.
25 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Good damage.
Let's see. additional 7 damage.
Does not beat the damage threshold of the object. There's a minimum amount of damage in order that you need to do in order to do damage at all.
Okay.
So the javelin, this one like slams into the stone but just glances off, leaving like a chipped mark on it, but not doing enough to break it.
I'm going to fly up here and grab onto a web with one hand, holding my hand right up it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. You're trying to get up higher, so yeah, take your little elevator thing.
Oh, that's right.
And yeah, you grab onto some of the webbing there. You grab on and you find these thick like anchoring webs are not sticky. And you just like grab on and it's just like this like somewhat like strange feeling, like sort of like taut organic rope that you grab on, and you are able to hang on there and like get your footing on another other anchor vine or web and hold yourself there.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to do?
That'll be it.
Alright, Nazira.
Right,
Ray,
I
you're on
will
deck.
use my third eye to see invisibility, and also look around. Let me check that off. And look around for hold on, let me read this. And look around for the rest of those little panels.
Okay. So you're activating your invisible sight, but you're not making your perception for Vitaria. You're just looking for the panels.
Well, I
themselves.
am looking for Vitaria. That's the reason I activated it. But I also want to note the panels if I see any.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
Passive perception.
Wait, I have that right here. I don't even need to ask you.
Whoa. You've stolen our character?
15.
It's identity theft, Mark.
But look, my passive investigation is 20. So there.
Yeah. You tell him.
Yeah.
Damn you! You've beaten me! I've lost the game and I'm sad now.
You better be okay. She's investigating for Victoria.
But passively.
But passively.
Actively looking for the panels, passively looking for Vitaria. Yeah, you don't catch sight of Vitaria as you like scan. You know, like roughly, at least from your experience in the previous chambers, roughly where to like begin looking for these transubstantiation panels, expecting them to be like evidently arrayed around this chamber. Indeed, you rolled. I'm sorry again. A 20. What was it?
I didn't roll.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Please give me a perception check.
Not
We just
bad.
talked about your passive.
17 plus 22.
22.
T-Sweezy.
Yeah, that's enough to see the, from where you are, you can see the one on that side. Terrible.
So like
So over, yeah,
over
right
here
over
somewhere?
there. Yeah, exactly. And again, that's going to be like lower down a little ways because you
Okay.
guys are near the very top of this chamber, and they're settled near like kind of lower down near the middle, probably like 20, 30 feet below you right now.
Now, are these spirals down? Are they like a ramp that we can go down, or are they like the inside of a shell that just has a little like bend in it?
Not quite either. It's like there are like flat levels that step down.
Okay.
They're like usable and like walkable paths like built
Okay.
in because presumably people would need to access different parts of the space to do their stuff and even build it. So in each level it's kind of like this step down, step down, step down. Each one probably being like 8 to 10 feet in a drop, and then and then. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna dart behind the door so that I won't be in line of sight of anyone
Okay.
attacking. Hopefully.
Great. Yeah. So we'll just Nazira's right in there. Good spot. So then that brings us to Gray with initiative 8. Beep boop, what's your dexterity?
Oh no, we've fallen into this issue,
Say
huh?
20, say
57.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh, 20. I mean, 16.
16. Cool.
Ooh, Warhammer.
Oh yeah. Just pressing buttons here.
So Gray is going to pull out 3 of his biggest, fattest, and plumpest beetles and cast a little healing magic. And these guys are going to fly out to you as I cast Mass Cure Wounds.
Mm.
7 spell slots.
Oh, some big magic.
Hot damn.
Everyone gets 20 HPs back.
Oh,
Wow.
that feels real good.
That really does.
As you bite into the butts of these.
No.
Don't do that.
I don't want it.
Don't do that.
Xerox relishes it. And just bites
I
into
just
the beetle.
smash it.
She sticks a straw in it and is like,
Yeah.
Pulls out a little straw.
juicy bugs.
She's environmentally conscious. She keeps one of those things.
Kind of surprised Zero isn't a vampire, so
But
it kind of works for
with
me.
the disposable straw as well, so
Yeah.
you haven't
You
saved
never
it.
know.
I know, I mean,
You break the proboscis off and use that.
proboscis.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So yeah, Gray will kind of move over in this general direction a little bit.
Okay.
And then he will end his turn.
After Gray, we have Beep Boop.
Oh, thank God. How far down is it?
I mean, forever.
Well, technically, yeah. Very good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
to
Also
what
whisper.
point?
Look down, Beep Boop. You can see space.
Like, how far down is it to the, like,
The main.
the
Yeah.
last little bit of webbing that I
So
can
like
grab
we enter
on?
the top of this chamber, and it's probably about like 60 feet to where it like opens up into space, and you can where you would find if you went out there far enough, like the Aegis shield expanded out like a dish.
Mhm.
So it's probably about like 40 feet to where like the center of the cocoon mass down below.
Okay.
So it's like probably 20 feet up above the empty space.
Okay.
Gray is very confused by space. He's always thought it was full of fireflies. And there's just even more fireflies even further away. It doesn't make sense.
That's hilarious. There's so many things that I want to do on my turn. It is always so complicated.
Action economy.
It's so bad. Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I'm going to do is soak up a couple first level spell slots to activate me some delightful cannons. So I will create. Oh, fuck it this round. I'm taking 2 explodey cannons that shoot, so ballistas. I'll strap one of them onto my arm, and since I'm sitting next to Nazira, I'm gonna strap another one onto her arm so that it goes with Nazira wherever it wants,
Nice.
and that will give you half cover, I believe,
Okay.
Oh.
at all times.
Excellent. Thank you.
So that's action 1, and then I run what, like 5, 10, and this is the edge, and then from there it's just down, like down and in.
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
cone.
So like this is like kind of where the first like step down is.
Okay.
And there's like steps down and down and down and down and down and down until you get like right around here where it's just like open to space in this like big area down here at the bottom.
Oh, I was just gonna jump, but if I can
Where's
kind of
the-
just keep going down it, then
Where's the web along?
Oh wait.
It's
like halfway, you said?
yeah.
Not at the full bottom.
Prep a little like side view here. Help with
Because
this.
we're just gonna keep asking questions.
Because this is very difficult to, because like with the addition of like the mountain itself also being inverted and like all this crazy stuff going on, it becomes pretty tricky. So we'll do quick little things. So let's see, it would be like we have the chamber broadest at the top. And the chamber itself goes like doot, doot, and then goes in. Down and in. And then it like opens up into the like dish down here in space. So this is where it opens up. So
I like you.
bottom, top, and then there is the like immense like mirror array inside this chamber, and these are all like in this like kind of shape. And in the center of all this is the web.
Dig it.
Cool. And this like curve shape is actually just like all the step downs
Oh, okay.
behind the mirrors there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm behind a mirror. Yeah, that helps a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, the mirrors are like on this kind of scaffolding structure that's kind of setting them up
Okay.
Where are we currently at in this drawing? We're
near the
Like
top.
right-
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to be in and down, so I want to run in and down, and I have 30 feet of movement to get me there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. I'm hoping that takes me to the edge of websies. Do I see any persons currently?
Give me a perception check.
13.
No.
Well, in that case, I'm using my bonus action to fire off my ballistas. I'm at least gonna shoot at that one right there. Which is going to be a bad roll. I'm not even gonna use that die anymore. Suck it. That's what you get. Ugh. Oh, it's a spell attack. That's what it was. 16. I don't think that hits.
And I'm sorry, this is a roll to hit what? Ah, the pound. No, that will not do any damage. It slams a bit into it but glances off.
Can the one on Quilla or Nazira's arm? Does it
Not-
have a line?
Not from the hidden spot. Like Nazira said, that they're back behind the
Alright,
door.
Yeah,
so-
cool.
Behind the door because I'm a coward.
That's smart.
No one likes a coward, I learned.
Then that will be my turn.
Okay. Alright. Well, in that case, we'll go on
Come
to
at me, bro.
the bottom of the round. Hear a voice echo into the space over the roar. Voice at once, again, so recognizably similar to Nazira's, but full of so much more, even in some cases, than Nazira, a confidence or arrogance, a power and authority carries these words. She says, kind of sourcelessly in this chamber, she says, "You may yet make the right choice, young ones. We
needn't be foes in this. Their blood needn't be on your hands. And what do we have here? We have Xerox up there. We have Beep boop, what's your wisdom save modifier?
Super high.
I really want to know.
Wisdom save?
No, we'll do this.
Plus
we'll do
one?
This. We'll do this. You can do it and publicly. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. And the rest of you can give me a perception check. Nazir, you can do it with advantage.
16. Super duper high.
23.
23?
21.
21?
20.
20? Wow. You heard the incantation of magic coming from somewhere within the main cluster of cocoons in the center of the webs. Somebody just cast a spell from that area. Xerox. Top of round 2.
Xerox is.
Mark, you can't just leave me like that.
What happened? What happened?
And I will.
So I'm currently up far away. Have the incantation down here. I don't see any movement or anything like that.
I'm sorry? Was that question directed to me?
It's my bird.
I heard the incantation in here,
Mm-hmm.
down in the center of this web.
Yeah.
Shit.
Do it.
That's really dumb.
Do
Do I see any large cocoons in there?
Yes.
I'm going to I'm going to fly over the top of the largest one I can see and just drop down on top of it. And I'm going to smash it with my hammer.
Excellent. So just use this for bits of chewing around here. So we can just imagine these are maybe a little bit bigger.
Sounds
Nice and
gross when
it's
you
a
rip it
good-
apart. No. No ASMR.
There is just this big cluster of all these cocoons, just kind of intermingled with each other. It's difficult to identify in many places. Do any of these actually end? Are they complete in of themselves, or do they merge with each other to make one giant cocoon amalgamation? You're not really sure, but you do see this protuberance of at least most of one that's visible. You come down with the hammer on it, slamming into it. Absolutely, yeah. Give me an attack and damage. This is a silken cocoon. It is not hard to hit and damage.
Natural 20. Of course I wasted on that.
Fuck them
Okay.
cocoons.
So that is off the top. That's just 50 flat points of damage.
What?
Because I'm swinging with a double.
Yeah.
And
With the
I
crit?
get 3. No, it's 49 with all my bonuses and stuff. So that's, and then I roll on top of that.
Yeah,
4
because
D10.
it's max damage.
Yeah. Plus
Plus-
4 d10.
Jesus Christ. How do you get to 49 on that? Like, I'm not doubting you. I just want to know because it's so fucking cool.
Because I have, I have to look at it. But I get
She's
to
a
add.
badass.
Yeah.
I get to add dice on critical.
Yeah, brutal criticals.
Brutal
and stuff.
criticals, and I add 3 dice.
Oh my god. Beautiful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's how I get there, and then I have 6. It's a +6 to hit on. It's a +6 with my strength modifier plus the magic weapon, and then +3 rage damage. And then I roll 4d10 and I'll get to it. There'll be a total of so add 22 on top of that.
So it's 49 plus 22.
71. 71.
Damn.
Yeah, you just like fall, like with the fall, just like slam into this thing. You hit the cocoon, and this one, unlike the other one, is full of thick organic mass. It is a strange, only partially differentiated substance that's inside this. There are no, like, in most places that you are, like, at least right now, smashing through, no bones or meaty, like, hard structures, but you just, like, slam through this, breaking through the cocoon and causing this, like, utter splatter of organic material just, like, spraying all over you and away from this immense swing. You have just, like, just utterly just like cut through this huge like chunk of cocoon, and like you see it like just utterly destroyed and like hanging now below it, like pulling on where it's still connected to the rest of the mass of this cocoon. You can see this portion of it at least is like utterly destroyed and dead, and it's just like hanging there, a dead weight on the rest of it.
And I'll
You're gonna be mad.
You see as this happens, the rest of the cocoons do begin to like quiver and vibrate violently.
They uploaded themselves to the spider matrix.
and so how far? So if I fell from there, would you give me that extra 10 feet movement to get to somewhere and grab onto something?
Are you trying to get like up and away from the cocoon mass a bit?
Am I immediately next to one?
Yeah, like to get into melee and smash as one, you're like pretty much in it with the rest of the main mass of the cocoon.
I would like to get up and away to grab something.
Yeah, any movement you have, you can use to get up and away. It's not
Okay.
like threatening any space yet at this moment.
Okay, I have one more attack. I'll expend that on the nearest cocoon. Oh my god, I'm just wasting it. 20.
Oh my
Another
god.
natural 20?
Wow.
Yeah!
But don't even need to roll it because your minimum damage is enough to utterly again just like you just swing through another massive cocoon and just like sprays out this huge explosion, this like whatever semi-liquidy like fleshy substance is inside this just explodes out, and you just obliterate another one of those cocoons, destroying more of the mass.
And I will use the rest of my movement to get up and grab onto, if I see another anchor thing, if I see one of the anchor webs, I want to grab that, but the biggest one that I can grab onto.
Yeah, absolutely. Is now that you've gotten this close into this, like you've found all the webs you touched. This isn't a web for hunting. It's just support and stuff, like you find that this isn't like coated with sticky substance or anything, like it's traversable webbing.
Okay.
Yeah, and you like climb, just like getting a little bit of ways, a little
Nope.
bit of ways away.
No.
They brought this upon themselves.
Bad word
Zero,
for
you're
it.
up. Yeah, unless there's anything else that you're
No, that's
cool. Well done.
No, just utterly fucking
Well
destroying
done,
things.
or war crimely done. Let the viewers at home decide. History will be our judge.
I maintain that Vitari has this blood on her hands because she brought us to this. It's her fault that the bugs died.
You announce to the world as you wait for Nazira to go.
So Nazira kind of hesitates with Vitaria's words, but then sees Xerox just decimate these Samsoran mines. It's just like, well, I guess we're in it now. And I'm gonna cast Sickening Radiance in this area here. Sorry, Xerox, you're gonna get it too.
Okay.
Hoping to tag Vitaria wherever she is. It's a 30-foot sphere.
Oh.
So.
Starts its turn there. Oh, and it does radiant damage?
Mhm.
And it, whoa!
Mhm.
Never seen this spell cast before, so cool.
Mhm.
It's only 4th level?
He's
It's only
cursing
fourth
you
level.
under his breath.
This is cool.
It's impossible for the creature to benefit from being invisible.
Oh, rude! Rude! That's nasty. Cool. Yeah, that's when it starts its turn there. Oh yeah. Yeah, you describe the spell for us, and you can describe it watching over Xerox too.
Alright. So as you are smashing through these pods, Xerox, the this like
Spreads around corners too.
sickening green light just sort of spreads like everywhere. You can see it going around the corners and around bends
It's
and
like a
just like
creeping thing.
creeping into
Ugh.
this area.
Very Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah, so the moves into it or starts their turn there. So for Xerox and potentially for Vitaria as well. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I think that is it, unless I can look for another of those things.
Another panel.
Yeah.
Um,
But I guess it would be across the room for me, so it's hard to see.
yeah, it's like through the main. You would expect through the main like mass. It's just completely obstructed your vision. So will that end your turn?
Yeah. I'll just say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and this would be gray according to the order last round. But this round we go to instead the quivering mass of cocoons.
That's not
You
good.
can see Xerox as this like same like sickening radiant light like spills over you, and like you can feel it like almost like clinging to you, not just shining on you. It's again like also you can see it like crawling forth, almost like creeping towards the cocoons and like seeping almost into them, trying to find any place it can reach. The cocoons themselves are like quivering and shaking in this like angry response to your attacks, and you see one of them split open, and a newborn flesh spills forth from it. A grotesque, like three-legged human with with strange elfin characteristics as well, but also like one arm that's like split into like two like only partially useful limbs, and like a cluster of eyes covering half their face. It like begins crawling out of that, and as it does so with its malformed body, it is immediately exposed to the radiant, the spell you just cast, the sickening radiance. So go ahead and roll some damage for me.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a save or die. Succeed or take the damage.
Okay. They have to make a con save.
Yeah, con save. This is the con's not great. What's the DC here?
My DC.
They have a 0 modifier.
Is 18.
They need to roll an 18 on the die or higher.
Are you fucking kidding?
That's an 18.
That's an 18?
That's an 18.
Wow.
So my reading of the spell, it makes the save or take the damage and it suffers. So
Yeah,
it does not
that's
suffer
fine.
the exhaustion and it does not take the damage.
Mhm.
My understanding?
Yeah, I would agree
okay.
with that.
Ouch.
It does still though make it impossible for the creature to benefit from being invisible.
As well as if Victoria is there, she would also be
Yes.
unable to benefit.
The creature, not realizing this effect of this spell, you've seen others of the Samsarans rely heavily on their invisibility, and this one, reacting to the pain and discomfort of this, like this sickening radiant energy around it, immediately tries to hide itself and flee. It casts an invisibility spell on itself, which falters and like just drains away from it being replaced by that like green illumination. This Samsaran remains visible, and with that crawls out right next to you, like pretty much Xerox. I'm gonna say that's gonna be within melee, with even though you're like you climbed up a little ways.
Yeah.
I'd say you're still threatening that space. And it's cast it's already taking its action. It's it's a 30-foot radius on the thing too.
You're a grotesque baby.
My baby. It's gonna try and run. It's too terrified. It's a fresh-born flesh. It's gonna take the attack of opportunity and try and get away from you.
Kill the baby.
Another
Kill the
nat
baby.
20. Another
Let's go
nat
around
20.
this way. So go like 5, 10.
Oh man, that is
It's gonna just
fucking
run
terrible.
away.
So 14 to hit.
This unarmored, freshly born abomination does not have a high AC. You hit.
19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. That's 2. Nicely done. Yeah, you slam into it as it makes its escape, skitters, despite its grotesque form, skitters deftly across the webbing, trying to escape you and trying to get out of this radiant sickness. It moved its full distance away. Where did you center the spell, Zira?
So let's see. It's so I wanted to get kind of right around here.
So it's a 30-foot radius, so you can get like
Yeah.
60 feet total.
Yeah.
And
So
only
like maybe
30.
starting over here, so that if
Okay.
she's back here.
So the center would be like right in this area
Yeah.
here. So
Are
10,
you
20,
out here?
30. Yeah, it escapes the.
No, I am
Just
back.
popped out.
Yeah, and then I pop back in.
It does. It uses action, but it just tries to flee. Now it's wishing it had saved its invisibility spell until after it got out, but it failed its intelligence check, so
You
it's
know,
gonna go.
Samsaran, life is a learning experience.
Babies are dumb. They make poor decisions. It's like they're trying to kill themselves.
New flesh is always terrified. And that's their turn, so we get to Gray.
Also, obviously, these things are evil because just look at it.
Yeah.
Evil things are ugly.
Are you reading
Always.
a book by its cover there?
Absolutely, it looks spider influence so bad.
The Zero's always a follower of eugenics.
Little did you know.
So how big is this cocoon sphere ball?
You know, probably it's kind of a weird, like, clustered thing, but like probably average 20 to 30 feet across.
Excellent. Gray is going to reach into his bag of bugs and pick out a whole big slew of slugs, and he's gonna chuck them at this this ball. And the red ones seem to land on Xerox, and all the green ones seem to land on the cocoons, as they all start to feast upon it, devouring it. Please make a Constitution saving throw. Gray is
For
just
my
cast
cocoons.
Wither and Bloom
Ooh.
at 6th level.
Jesus. Take the wheel.
Constitution, you said?
Constitution saving throw.
This is a inanimate cocoon, or you know, it's an organic cocoon, I guess. It does not have a high constitution. Wasn't getting at it. Fits.
So
Roll a 7.
anything that's inside of there will be taking
Jesus.
6, 7, 10, 13, 14
Some low
points of
numbers.
damage. But each one that is taking 14 points of damage is transferring that healing to the red slugs, and Xerox is getting healed for all that damage. So I don't know how many cocoons are inside that, a 20 foot
It was,
radius, or 20
it
foot
was
diameter
14 damage, you said?
yeah. But any cocoon inside of that 20 foot diameter
It's
will
beautiful.
be taking that
That's a good
damage
spell.
and healing it to Xerox. Fuck yes.
That's a cool spell.
Yeah.
That is a cool spell.
This is a perfect scenario to use that spell.
That hits 6 cocoon nodules, dealing 14 points of damage to each. When does somebody do the math for that?
84 points of healing.
But it's half, right? Half
If
healing?
they fail.
No, it's
Oh,
no.
is it- oh, is
They
it- oh,
they failed the roll,
mhm.
but the healing is half the damage, right? That's not how it's told.
Hit points equal to the rolls plus your spellcasting modifier. So it's actually 87.
I'm at full health.
It's one- right?
No, yeah, like that, like oh, yeah.
What's
I thought I remembered it being like you evoke, you tune to a failed save has much. In addition, one creature choice. Oh, you have to spend
Oh, the hit die. That's
And
right.
regain
Shit.
the number of hit die equal to the roll plus your spell casting ability modifier.
Oh, just one of its unspent hit die equals the roll plus your the roll.
The 14.
14. So you get 17 points.
17.
Then at higher levels, though, you cast this
Oh,
at a
right.
higher level, right?
Yeah,
Plus-
at level
Yeah.
6.
A roll of your hit die.
The healing roll, the hit dice that can be spent added to the healing roll increased by 1 for each slot above 2. So like 4, so 5 hit die
Right.
plus your spell casting
So
modifier.
plus 17, so 21 HP. Not as big as I was hoping, but still, it's pretty bad.
Well, it would just be he would he would just roll, or Xerox would just roll 5
Hit die.
d12.
Right. And take those.
Yeah,
Are those spent?
plus your
Yeah.
yeah.
We
So
don't
it's
use
basically
it.
like letting you do like some short rest healing, like on a reaction or like what on your friend's turn. I'm gonna go through real quick. But yeah, manipulate that.
Should have read that spell a little closer. Still pretty
It's
bad.
fine. It's still a bad spell.
18.
All points
Yeah.
of healing count.
3 ones, that sucks.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
heart of the dice.
Yeah.
No, that's just 7s. 7. I get to roll 5 hit die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 13, 21, 20, 30, 35 plus 21.
Oh, shit.
I mean, there's 56 points of healing.
Yeah.
It's pretty much exactly what you would.
Alright, you almost got me to back to
Nice.
full health. Like, alright, thanks guys. Though I may have committed war crimes, so.
Oh, shit, I don't have any actions left. Bonus action.
It's
Can't really
fine.
do anything. I'm just gonna move over here just to space those
Good
out in
choice.
case.
Good choice. Well,
Yeah.
We have
Do
to
not
figure
group up.
out things to do while.
Although we are
it's not
kind of in a
revealed.
line at the moment.
Yeah.
It goes up, but you know. It's fine.
I
No
didn't
one
ask
ever
how far
died.
down I am.
That's
Or you're up at this point, aren't you?
No, I'm down.
Are you?
I'm really far down. How far?
down the rabbit hole did you go?
How far down did I fall, Mark?
You fell.
I dropped down on top of this.
Yeah, so like the with you guys coming in from like over here, you like drop down, so you're like right in this area here.
Okay. All right. So I'm not still. So the cluster of cocoons is like.
Let's add a quick scale to help us estimate things. So like from here down to here, that's meant to be like right up here actually,
Okay.
sorry, it's like right here. Ignore that part. Is like about 60 feet.
All right.
Where'd my cuddle buddy go?
Sounds good.
This is epic. Epic meal time.
Oh my god. There's a throwback right there.
So that was gray with some wither and blooming.
Healing and damage.
Anything else, Gray?
That'll be it.
All right.
We moved over a little bit to spread out.
We got a beat.
And
Am I forgetting something?
I had to make a wisdom saving throw. I was assuming that
Oh,
I would.
thank
yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yes, absolutely. That would have been unfortunate.
Yeah,
I
I know.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget these things.
I
I haven't been planning at all this turn, so.
you. Okay. You
Wait.
Got something for this?
Maybe. Hold
this
on.
is a
Sorry.
charm effect if that's
I-
relevant.
What?
This is a charm effect if that's relevant.
Hold on. I'm immune from being charmed. Yes. Don't give people silver swords.
Wow. Wow.
Level
Wow.
16 adventure going on for 4 goddamn years. There's so many toys. Awesome. That is so cool. That is awesome. That sword is great.
Oh
and
my
that's so cool.
Well, he
So-
had to argue hard to keep that thing.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't he think
It was like a whole like potential scenario keeping that sword
Yeah.
and like the debate and stuff around that. Awesome. Awesome. Good catch. You feel
I feel a little bad though because I thought I just had advantage.
you feel like familiar voice of your companion and trusted friend Nazira in your mind. Nazira's spoken to you this way before, and you feel like this sensation that what they're saying is like usual, insightful and worth considering. And you feel this sensation that no, you need to stop your friends from destroying this stuff. Like you need you're in space. You need to be able to protect this stuff so you can explore it. Like you know that you need this stuff. And you feel this like compulsion, this like sensation running through you, and you feel this like presence almost in the sword as you're holding it, or as you're like, is it sheathed or in your hands?
It's probably sheath at the moment, but yeah.
As a sheath, you feel like this like pulsing like vibration almost coming from it. This clarifying like note of just like perfect resonance with your own mind, your own undominated mind, and you there's this this place of clarity that allows you to like recognize what is happening to you, and this domination, this charm magic washes over your mind and is like absorbed or
pushed out of you or something by the psychic resonance of the sword.
Oh,
that you
thank
would turn
God.
to.
Ugh. So happy right now.
Like NPCs wasting their spells. Bullshit. And that's perfect too, because that happened after the split. Because Nazira and Vitaria split on at the boat, and that was like that happened like separate from like you guys were separated.
You gotta
for
keep
the
them
acquisition of
separated.
the sword.
Thank God for that. They had to deal with Tentacle Man. That was fun.
Alright, well, beep boop, your turn's yours.
Well,
do whatever you want.
It's kind of unexpected. I
For
was
both of us.
I was literally like, God damn it. I'm not gonna be able to choose what I want to do this round, so I won't plan accordingly.
Oh, nothing.
So in lieu of that, my friend is down there.
If you go into that sphere,
Oh yeah, it's a bad idea. But birds sometimes need to. Do you think my bird can fly down there?
Yeah, there's like webs up to climb on, but your bird's small enough to flit through.
Can like from here, it's probably at this level, the 30 feet. We'll probably not take it down to Xerox's level.
Yeah, it's like it's down probably like 20 or 30 feet. So, yeah, it's probably like 40 total.
To get to Xerox,
Yeah.
so we'll get you there. And then that's its own movement, its own thing. Fuck.
does it before you move there, does it have to make a con saving throw?
As it enters that space
Mhm.
with sickening radiance, I believe it does.
Yeah. Well, let's make a con saving throw then, shall we?
Save or die.
I don't want to kill your bird.
Oh, don't worry. Roll the 10.
It's not very good.
No.
I think it dies.
Fine. It depends on how many hit points
Mark will
that you
settle
take
for
from it.
killing Joel's bird.
I will sushi
Uh, 15, 18, and 1 point of exhaustion.
You said 18?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's still alive.
Okay. And 1 point of exhaustion.
20, I'm going to do math real quick, and I'm
Disadvantage
bad
on
at it.
ability checks.
Yeah.
18, so
And
it
it can't-
has 4
Exhaustion
points
just always
of
remember-
HP
reminds
left.
me of,
Good.
what was that character we
And it's,
Oh,
it's immune to
Korean
being exhausted,
stalker.
so...
Okay,
Sucker,
good.
remember
Being
what-
stuck with it.
Yeah.
Is that every
With that,
turn?
making the
I'm
There's just
looking
one.
here.
zombie chariot. Oh my god.
It's important for me to know. As a bonus
It's
action...
whenever it enters it or starts its turn there.
So... That was a bad choice. Oh well.
So when a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, that creature must succeed. So there's that.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We're making bold
I
choices.
think it keeps zapping it.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to take some pot shots. Hey Nazira, stick your arm out the door. I'm gonna take 2 shots with my forceless. DM permitting.
Wait, what's happening?
Oh
Shooting
damn it!
Zira's arm?
No, one of my ballista is on her arm.
Oh,
And I wanna
yeah.
shoot these things
Yeah,
down here.
Absolutely. So you all limit your cover to half cover for this round.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
yeah, you can totally do this.
So 21
Yeah,
and
exactly.
13.
For cocoon shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, those will, the 21 will hit, the 13. It's just a cocoon. Yes, that hits 2. Yes.
I mean, you don't have to give out.
No, 12 is the target for the cocoon.
Yay!
I mean, we still have. Should we get rid of those panels?
I mean, right now, 18 for one.
Yeah, we probably should, but you know.
She's in the room. She can't use them to transport herself.
Is she in the room? We don't know that yet. We haven't seen her.
It would have taken her a lot. We got here so fast, it would have taken her so much longer to get to a different node. Maybe. But, that's metagaming. 18 for the second. I think it was 18 on both. Well,
Yeah.
no, wait.
That's what I wrote down for the first one.
18 on the first one. This one is not 18. It's 15. Sorry.
Oh.
And they're pushed back 5 feet if they can be. And finally,
With the last blast into that cocoon nodule, it explodes into a spray of disgusting fluid and chunky bits that are unidentifiable. You destroyed another cocoon mass. Give me blue, please. Excellent choice.
and then I don't want to hit Xerox, and this seems more fun to me. So, fucker shit, damn. Oh, that's fun. Let's do that. Hey Xerox, are you happy with your situation in life, or do you want to not be in there? He yells out loud.
Looking up from and just being coated in guts and in some sickening radiance, she's just like, whatever you feel.
This is fine.
Oh, baby. I'm going to... I gotta do something. I'm gonna get her out of there.
Do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna vortex warp you up to here, because that's gotta be close to 90 feet away.
Yeah.
And I cast a spinning cocoon web that goes around you, web flies around you and just and reappears back up there, and you appear.
Flails around trying to grab.
And that will end my turn.
I don't know.
Oh wait, that's not a good idea. That's a bad placement. Bad placement. Go that way, near your friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if that's gonna put him outside.
Yeah. I realized where our center of space was.
It's not like you couldn't see where the edge
Yeah.
of the sickening green miasma light was.
Go.
Cool. Anything else from Beeps?
That will be my turn.
Well.
Should probably just quit. That's the other thing.
I mean,
Okay,
the rolls, the tracking for their own progress here. I'll give you guys an update. As you come into this chamber and you've been here, you've the environment, the panels have not been moving. You have not seen signs of powered activity in this space. As this round begins to come to a close, they have finally, it seems, begun to, or have restored power. You see a slight change in the mirrors as they come online. You can see tiny adjustments in all of them as it goes all readjusting to the new center of the room and stuff. this place has again been marked, you would guess, from what you understand of this place, as essential.
But how could that happen?
So quickly.
A very good question.
She's here.
No, it could just be a clone. She could be somewhere else. And have a clone cast the spells and stuff.
No, we gotta destroy all the nodes.
We should have just bashed the Zephyr thing until the mountain fell out of
I
the
mean,
You, from what you know of this,
they're all gonna
though,
die anyway.
getting power to this place is only sets the stage for Vitaria to begin to get the system to do what she wants it to. It was not there. This since you guys fucked everything up, she didn't have it set to go yet. This has only given her the ability potentially to begin that process again. Just because I'll give you that extra little bit of insight because you have spent so much time and effort trying to understand the schematics and how all this stuff works, and been in many cases obscenely successful in those roles. There are times where as a DM you're just like, okay, the roll's above a 40. How do you possibly interpret that? It's so just as an extra bit, you think that they've crossed the first hurdle you've set to them, but that doesn't mean they're anywhere close to activating this in this moment.
Okay.
Vitaria, it does not dispel the magic while they're in there, or if they were already invisible, it would reveal them being in that radiance, but if they left it, they would go back invisible, is how I'm interpreting that, unless that, because from what I understand, it doesn't dispel it, it just renders them visible. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's see here, let me read it again. They emit a dim greenish light over a 5-foot radius.
Well, that makes
The
it
light
possible.
and any levels of exhaustion caused by the spell go away when the spell ends.
That sticks to him then, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Plus Vitaria does need to make the con saving throw 'cause she's starting her turn.
she's got a really high con save from what I remember.
Yeah, definitely. Best save of all of my saves.
Yeah!
Vitaria!
Way to have a good con. We really know how to screw yourself over.
Yeah. You really wish you had a better clone sometimes.
Does she have any legendary resistances?
I mean, she should have spent some time in the spider cocoon.
Yeah.
Upgraded.
She'll take go and roll the damage.
Oh, that reminds me of Lost in Space remake.
Oh yeah.
Alright,
Solid.
7.
Yeah, has what's his name? Matt LeBlanc in it.
Yeah.
As a badass.
That's a bad
14 points of damage.
14 points of damage.
1 point of exhaustion.
Joey.
Gary Oldman, excellent villain.
Mm-hmm.
14
No, I enjoy that movie.
exhaustion.
And she emits
I want to watch Lost in
a
Space.
pale green light.
Don't watch the new one,
Oh,
the series.
Mm.
The first season was good, but then the second season was just like, by the power of love, we can do everything.
Heart.
It's just a little too. It kind of loses some of its grittiness to it. And it's just like, it wasn't that gritty to begin with, so losing that kind of makes it too.
Get you.
Vitaria, you see crawls. You can see her just clamber up in the least dignified manner that you've ever seen Vitaria or Nazira move. Climbs to the top of this cocoon mass. You can see Vitaria emitting that sickening green lights and almost sweating it out of her body as she's covered in this sickening radiance. She looks around, she sees the power coming back on to the system, but looks around and sees you all. She's gonna dimension door.
Ugh.
20, 30.
Sure. Are sure you're not? It's not Misty Step.
Doing a full dimension door.
Good action instead of bonus action.
What?
Action instead of a bonus action.
Yeah, that's true.
Misty Steps is 30, right? 30
Misty
feet?
Step is 30 feet as a bonus action.
Yeah, she wanted to go further than that, unfortunately.
Okay.
She just had movement too. Could she have gotten there?
She's still in the sickening radiance right there.
Yeah, 20, 30. Getting out of the sickening radiance wasn't necessarily her goal there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll use Misty Step. She could bonus action and like run and like climb along the webbing. I will say, which I should have been saying throughout, that climbing through the webbing is of course like difficult terrain.
Difficult terrain.
Unless you have a climbing speed.
Makes sense.
Misty Step. No, I think she'll have to use Dimension Door to get where she wants to be. She's I will put her, if that's 30-foot radius for the sickening radiance. Given her height above it and being this far out, she'll like cower in the very corner of the webbing, like just out of the range of the radiance. Probably like 10 feet away. Yeah, shaking. 10 feet away from the like controls that you can see has like come to some amount of life.
Okay.
That's what she's gonna do. That'll take us to the top of the next round. And we have Xerox.
Xerox, just to see what happens, flies over to this node and is going to hammer at it. Natural 20.
Yay, it's dead.
Utterly destroyed us. It is a powdered mist.
And
Does she flicker?
Xerox will look over at Vitaria.
Vitaria's figure does not flicker or show any sign of being an illusion.
Xerox will smile and will can't do it. Wrest her javelin of lightning out of this and will fly over and huck it at this homie here.
Nice.
This baby.
Baby. As I've established my attitude towards babies in this game.
Xerox is so pro-abortion. Just in a lifetime. So important.
Okay.
That was the scene that like, man, that seems like, because that scene I think you were just referencing with the javelin in the vampire monster takes it back so far. That was one of the first scenes I was describing. We're like, am I crossing a line?
Yeah.
And then you went to my taint.
Oh yeah. Once
That was the first time we fought vampires. Before we went to hell, right? We killed their baby.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
another
baby.
house.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
Sarah,
so-
there was a vampire baby. Vampires
Oh.
were able to reproduce and create a baby, an undead abomination, and the party destroyed it
Yeah,
before
we
it could
killed it
assume
too.
some horrific mantle of power.
16 to hit.
16, that hits.
Squish baby.
Oh, I forgot this thing only does that damage like once a day.
Oh, the lightning damage.
Yeah. Okay, so that is a whopping 10 points of piercing.
Nice. It yet lives, but it is bloodied.
Okay, and that is all I can do. So I will hang out in the webs up here.
Okay. Nazira, you're up.
Okay.
Mark, you're on deck.
I will
What do you give yourself a little heads up?
Lift my fey horn to my lips and blow
Speaking of
the
callbacks.
silvery note to call the fey wardens to my aid. So
Need some
this
minis?
is yeah,
Oh, no.
46 plus 4 warrior spirits.
4d6.
No, 44. Sorry, 44.
44 warriors?
44 warriors.
It's like more minis.
You want me to, you rolling them?
Yeah. Just have to find some d4s.
Alright. Joel, you don't have to worry about being the
Yay!
first
Someone else takes the mantle.
I think I have enough actually.
How best can we make this fight piss Mark off?
Let's start adding some more characters.
So then I can start summoning insects. And
Five,
just fill this room
Your
with every
character
single-
is built to piss off.
For a while I did, and then I'm like, this is dumb. And Mark hates it.
9, 10,
I
11.
I always made you love
15.
the characters.
Which I also I
Berserkers.
never left.
15.
What
Yeah.
did you say?
15.
What?
44.
Maximum is
16.
16. You got 15.
Wait. Plus 4. 44 plus 4.
Wow.
Maximum's
Yay!
20.
What?
Yeah, maximum 20, and you got wow. All right, so there are these. Yeah, you have
Warm. Greatest
Fey
jealous.
warriors. What are they called?
Yeah, leaf wardens.
Leaf warriors.
They're berserkers. Sorry, they're berserkers with the berserker stat.
Oh, that's right. It was the horn
The Horn of Valhalla.
that we were reskinning to a Fey horn.
Yeah.
That's right. Man, what a yes. Can't be used again until 7 days have passed. Mark that on your calendar.
I used it last time in the War on Ketten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome.
I'm sorry, Mark.
No. I always feel like I'm somewhat what's the word? Described or something as hating summons. What I hate is
Misrepresented.
thank you, misrepresented. Is unprepared use of many summons and minions.
Mm-hmm.
If you roll your shit in between turns and stuff and have that ready to go, and it's like, yeah, my minions do this, done, great, like, do it every single
We'll
time,
do
I don't
that.
care. But if your turn's a half an hour long and you're figuring out what each one
Hold
is
on.
doing,
We got 15 to
no,
roll.
not allowed. No, I call it, I cut it. It's too much.
What was it?
Um,
15? It was 15?
It was 15 minions. So what do you want to do with these at the higher level as before we get to like,
Group them together.
and what do you want to use them for?
Um,
Do they get to act this do they get to act this round?
Let
Typically with
me
summons I just do immediately
check
after you in
that.
turn order.
I love this.
It doesn't say if they can attack this round or not.
Typically if it's summons will just have their own initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just do initiative after you.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Just with normal summons.
Yes,
Yeah, so what do you want your 15 leaf wardens to do for you?
I want them to harry Vitaria.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna do that.
Yeah, they absolutely do that. Can you summon them near her, or will they need to
Within
spend this
60
turn?
feet of me.
5,
So
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
You can summon them like basically on top of Vitaria, and they immediately will go to town on following your turn.
okay. I basically want them to keep her from casting the spells and also from interacting with the device.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Victoria's turn at the very bottom of this round. We'll have them go immediately after you.
Okay.
So mechanically, how do you want them to stop Vitaria or parry or stop Vitaria? That can either be damage, it can be grapple, it can be like trying to throw her prone on the ground below. Like, what do you want them to do?
I'll have them try to grapple her and move her away from that device. And just hold her.
I'm gonna roll one check for Vitaria here, and if this is
Okay.
anything other than a 20, we're gonna assume they succeed.
Okay.
That's a 15. Vitaria physically cannot resist 15 Leaf Warden Berserkers, and is like just pulled away from the control station. Largely just like pulled, grappled, held, and like moved away. I think like on preceding turns, any time that Vitaria wants to like make a try and cast a spell or something, that's when Vitaria will like make a strength like an athletic check or something with disadvantage, just to kind of overcome the sheer number of like hands on like that's here.
I'll send like 2 of them to deal with the remote
The
protocol.
panels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
panels.
I think it's just this one and then one other one over there somewhere.
Yeah.
I think.
So
Okay. Wow. Beautifully done.
I love every minute of every game that we get to play.
That's so cool. Great. Like you guys have pulled out some like great things from your like the silver sword doing like its special stuff.
I love Silly
Cool.
Sword.
Your
You know,
item from way back when.
I'm real
so
low
cool.
on spell slots.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah.
Alright,
Like,
we're gonna think
yeah.
of another way to
Hell
solve
yeah.
this problem.
We've
Yeah.
solved this Vitaria puzzle.
how much health do these creatures have? Here's the stat block. They have
That's a good question.
67 hit points.
Oh my god, like, just summon it,
We just
Wow,
summoned
why
an
don't
army and
We need to start doing
said,
this every week. We need to do
Yeah,
this.
just wait 7 days between every encounter. It's your new long rest is a full week.
we take 7 days to hang out on a ship, and
Then we summon some berserkers and we leave.
we're a union shop, it's our policy, we do not engage.
Oh man. Okay.
I feel like you just need a list of all our items. What they do.
The Samsarans and the cocoons are up next. There is a moment here where Vitaria calls out, being grappled and held by this summoned army of Leaf Wardens, these Fey warriors. Vitaria calls out once again with that like voice that booms through this entire space. She says, I yield. Leave the Samsarans. Don't harm them anymore. Defeated me. The Samsarans, whose turn it is right now, you can see Xerox, it like hears this just at the same time as you, and it like steps back like warily from you, but it like does not raise any attack. You see all of you see the cocoon mass in the center of this space twisting and vibrating as if it's like prepared to spit out another fleshborn. But it holds.
Xerox will use her bonus action to. She'll prepare.
It's not actually your turn.
Oh.
But you saw there was the Samsaran's turn. You saw the Samsaran just pause for a moment and just see what you're gonna do, ready to defend itself if need be, but not pursuing any aggressive action. In this moment, we technically have Gray, then Beat Boop next in the initiative order. But in this moment, in response to this, I think you can all like shout out or communicate in this, the next heavy moments and seconds that pass.
Do I believe her?
Give me an insight check.
So can I use a turn to do an inside check?
I think anybody, you can all make an insight
Natural
check.
20 for 26!
Natural 1 for a 1.
Oh, I thought that was Shell squealing.
20 on the insight check.
There is a pained resignation in Vitaria's voice. This disbelief that despite all that she's tried to do, she's in the same position of defending these creatures again. There is truth and pain in her words, and judging from what you see and the 15 leaf wardens all like holding and grappling and even like preventing Vitaria from like trying to cast a spell or anything, like it's hard not to believe her earnestness in this moment.
Xerox will say, come to the table and we'll talk.
So Gray doesn't trust her. He was gonna say Gray no trust, and then he rolled a 1, so he really doesn't trust her. So he's pulling back a bow and say, Gray shoot,
No, Gray.
Gray shoot.
No.
Stamped his foot. Gray shoot.
No.
Gray, wait one moment, and then we'll
We talk.
see about shooting. She might have books for us.
Book?
Many. Good words has many papers. Bad words
Books.
has more papers.
Bad books for life. Deal. And he lowers his bow.
No, don't lower the bow. Be ready.
Raises it again. Shoot.
Wait.
We'll scamper up the webbing. He doesn't have any climb. He can move as he climbs, so he can get full 40 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of get equal and ready a shot. We'll end his turn.
Yeah. We're largely, I think at this point, out of initiative. Vitaria is physically entirely disabled. Might be able to, like, if she really struggled, work through the physical components of the spell, whatever those are called, I forget. And might be able to do something like that, but it would be very difficult for her to achieve anything in this state of being held by all of these creatures.
He's got just the very tip of his fingers holding the string back, just waiting to release. She does one verbal or somatic, gone.
Xerox will move into use the remainder of her rage to fly over and flank her.
Yeah, I'll come over.
Do you use a wand? Has she been using a wand to cast spells?
I use the actual components. Usually.
I'll walk up. Component pouch. Where is it?
You've seen Vitaria casting without components.
Wand. Focus. None of it?
Talented.
It's her.
She's
divine
got Jesus
spark.
powers.
Turn this water into wine immediately.
Let's all gather and have a discussion.
Can we do it, like, not in this room?
Talk walking cat room.
Grant your mercy, but know that I will not be imprisoned.
I didn't say in a prison. I said not in this room.
She looks at you largely like with the awareness that entirely up to you where her body is moved as she's held by 15 leaf warden berserkers. Once again.
Just step out into the hallway, I guess.
Somewhere where there's not a node.
Is there a comfortable room to sit in anywhere?
Not nearby.
Take her to the elevator.
I think
We could just take
I
her
think
to this
it's
room
fine
over here.
on the webs.
Alright.
I mean, there's a whole like area. Like, I mean, I guess we could just.
And the Samsaran should be party to this discussion as well.
Agreed.
They're in cocoons.
But I think they have a sort of consciousness. And certainly they have a individual that they have spawned.
It's like moving closer but keeping a wary distance from you all.
Oh,
It's like seeing what's listening in on what you guys are deciding.
you can come over, we won't hurt you.
Gray's gonna cast a level 1 healing word so it could regain
Aww.
4 hit points.
I'll also end concentration on ray of sickness so that people don't die from being in the fatigue
Right.
zone.
Yes. Good.
Let's
Yeah.
just cart her to a comfortable plot. Like we can just step out into the hallway. Like I'm assuming there's another door out into there's an actual real entrance to this place. We could just step out here.
I think that's another node entrance.
Oh, okay.
We could
That's
sit
just
among
a-
the webs. We have Xerox. I think you'd like the view.
Beep boop.
Or beep boop.
I do like the view, although it's getting mighty dusty now that we're headed. We're
And
still
we
headed
are
down
Still headed down.
and away. But yeah, all right. We'll talk. I mean,
Was this thing still powering up?
Yeah, like it seems like power's been restored. It's not like charging up to do
Okay.
anything right now. It's just like basic power has been restored.
I didn't anticipate winning like this.
Me either.
I need to restroom. I'll give you guys a hot second here to talk amongst yourselves. Or else
Restroom.
My biggest fear is that she'll use something to get back up to the controls. I'll either disable the controls or disable her.
Currently she's disabled.
What if she breaks free enough to use any spells?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can station somebody at the controls.
You guard them. You're immune to psychic powers.
I mean, we don't need these controls. Should we just smash it?
We might need these controls.
I know Gray does want to fly this thing.
I know!
It would be cool. I mean, an airship's great and all,
But a mountain?
Yeah.
We're just gonna fly directly over the top of the most. Vacate and just.
Just find the wand in the wreckage. They're vampires, you know.
Well, wait. I had an idea though. If she was going to use this to like spy on dead people, which boring. Who cares about being a god? But can't we use this to like see what's happening in the Imperium and like
But the problem is, if we use it for the same purpose, basically load it all the way up, but don't get to the point, all she has to do is step in and
Maybe we take her out of here. Take her away, send her back to Fey Realm, do anything else. But then we have the power to be super sleuths in the era of the Cold War. Like, we've got the first satellite in the sky and can start spying on the Imperium with
Damn
a
Soviets.
mountain.
Don't stand a chance. The space race has begun.
It's already beginning. It's been going on. We've made the first breakthrough.
I mean, she has a
Most
lot
of the
of
campaign is you guys like trying to get funding for your space program from all the free cities, and they're like, "Well, we need to feed people." You're like, "No, space.
Space is
You
important.
don't understand."
Think about it. Space Force.
We decided we're using the mountain to spy on the Imperium.
Perfect. Oh my goodness, that's such a good idea.
So,
Zero will go over to where Vitaria is. And
With people close
the
behind.
signal to the Leaf Wardens to
here's Vitaria, and here are the Leaf Wardens.
I'll signal them to like release her and just sort of make a
Release
formation
her.
around. Yeah.
Keep that bow ready.
Yeah, great. Not even blinking anymore.
Do you want to do you guys doing this up in the webbing and stuff, or you bring her down to like one of the level platforms here?
Oh, we'll go to one of the level platforms.
Yeah, so they bring Vitaria down, and there's she's left to her own feet down here on the platform. She takes some time to straighten out her her attire as the Leaf Wardens just take a few steps back and keep a very wary and ready eye on Vitaria, ready to intervene if she tries anything.
Greg casts his Zephyr Strike on himself and just waits.
Yeah.
You know, if you had merely asked for use for my clone, I would have given it to you freely.
It was not just your clone I needed. I had waited too long. I felt the stakes were too high to leave anything to chance. And yet it seems of not necessarily left it all to chance, but to my own arrogance. You and your companions have grown strong together, Azira.
They have helped me. We've helped each other grow strong. I don't think any of us could have done it by ourselves.
Assuredly not.
Arrogance and pride are the consistent downfall of our people.
Indeed. My arrogance has brought me to this defeat, and I am your prisoner in this moment. What will you do with me and with them?
I shoot?
No, Gray. I don't want to hurt any of you. But I think it's understandable that the way we were sundered from each other and the ways in which we have interacted thus far while you were in the body, just so to speak, and the way you misled me while you were united with me have bred a sort of distrust between us, and I am sorry for that.
Mine too, Azira. I wish I had trusted you more. I offer no apology, and I am certainly not ready to abide by all potential demands you and your friends may have of me. And what fate you all intend is of my most concern now. I still wish to be united with my children.
Ray want book.
Sighs. We have many books to give to you, Gray. Rest assured. What use they'll ever be to you, is it as it may.
I want you to give me a chance.
Chance for what?
You know my goals. I want to bring balance to this world, to restore it. I want to take steps toward healing our long sundered people.
I do wonder what Arvindor, how Arvindor would react to you reaching out instead of me.
Let me try.
I have been so focused on this day and this goal for so long. I struggle and strain to think of a new path for myself.
Big help game?
Perhaps it is time to wait and see what you can accomplish, Azira.
I think we will shake the heavens. The spirit. I think
I've waited this long, and if I have failed today, it's one more life, one of my children to wait. You've surprised me again and again and again, my child. I will wait, and I will hope you will be there to surprise me again, if you will let me.
I won't fail you.
I am willing to give you my word, depending on what your demand is.
Just wait for me to see if I can start the renewal process. If I can start healing the rift between our people before trying to storm Arvindor or anything like that. I think if I achieve my goals, that it will be possible.
Give me a persuasion check. You can do this with advantage. There is a
15.
start in Victoria's throat. She begins to say something and pauses for a moment, considering. Out of 15. She takes a step towards you. She says, "I will give you a gift of yourself to help you through this. See if your path and not mine is the way forward for us." She takes another step forward and she reaches her hands out to like cup your face. She reaches in and leans in and gives you a kiss on the cheek and then on the cheek. You see this like golden light pour from her mouth, like out and through her face. You can feel it like coming into your own body. You can share this boon. Go with a memory of the voice you once had. But be warned against using it too freely until you are ready. Fear has kept me from it, but perhaps the time of fear for us is over. You feel this sensation filling you that you felt like in that the opposite of this moment happening on the boat of Visigoth's boat, as you felt like parts of your body being separated as you and Vitaria laid claim to parts of your own like soul and your memory and all this stuff. You feel some element of that return to you. And it may not be like you've been suddenly elevated to like deity or something, but you feel some of that like power, some of that like authority, some sense of that, some sense of your own voice returning to your body. And it settles within you, not in your throat, but like deep in your heart and your chest. She says, if you fail, maybe it will return to me. Maybe not. It's a gift I give without knowing whether I will ever get it back. Not really a gift, just returning something that was taken.
I'm gonna hug her.
She hugs you back tightly, holding on for some time. Gray, you worry that this is all a ploy to cast some elaborate magic. But no words or twisting of arcane symbols appear in the hands as Vitaria's arms wrap around his ears.
Slowly inching forwards. She's gonna get out of giving me a book. I know. This is some ploy to make sure I don't get a book.
She takes a step back and holds you at arm's length, like looking you in the eyes, and she says, "I've always been the best of my children. You'll be the best of all of us. It's in your hands now, Azir."
I'll see us through and won't fail us.
She looks at you and looks at your companions. They trust me as well.
Oh God, no.
No trust.
They might take a little time, but I think they'll listen to me.
You'll extend courtesy, but trust is a heavy word.
What was that?
You'll extend courtesy, but trust is a heavy word.
unclear to me what you and your companions will allow me to do moving forward.
I would ask you to be prisoner. I trust you.
It's not universally shared among your companions, it seems.
I think as long as you promise not to do any mass murder or anything.
Says,
I know that's not part of the plan, but
says, with the gift given to you, I suspect my ability to control Mount Ainru on my own will be significantly reduced, if capable at all. I would stay to aid the Samsarans. I've
certainly.
always felt as if they are our responsibility. No, it wasn't us that gave this gift and curse to them.
I think you're right.
Maybe with time I can convince them that their errand is a foolish one.
I hope so.
Well, with your help, I'm sure we can at least get this mountain in a place where it's not going to fall on anyone.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Ready to drive?
Oh,
Let's
please
go.
let him.
Yes, Gray, you can drive.
The first time he's taking his finger off the boat.
They're pretending to let him steer when they really have the
Yeah,
controls
be
back
like
here.
home and stuff, and like Gray's gonna be like at the controls, but they're really gonna be controlling it right behind him. He's like, I'm doing it.
You're doing such a good job, Gray.
It's like those sort of Simpsons where they have Maggie.
Yeah, exactly.
I am sorry for those that were lost when we attacked the cocoons.
It was pretty badass, though.
It was
Ray's still hurt. Fireball bad.
yeah, that fireball was pretty impressive.
I mean, what were you even still doing here?
I think she
Some of the Samsarans, well, Samsarans were already in place in other places around the mountain. They are very skilled in using the mountain in unconventional ways, as they've lacked proper access to it. Having designed the mountain, after all, they know all it's capable of. Well, they were redirecting power to this station more than I would use the deific voice to take the mountain back to the Apoapsis reverie, if possible. Feels strange knowing that just moments ago looks around like some like shame in her eyes, is so willing to end so many lives, such short lives. Each one as precious to them as all my children are to me. What's another few millennia of waiting? Perhaps we can do this right either way. There's like this like obvious like inner frustration that Vitaria is like working through as they're like coming to terms with like the absolute like the extent to which that they were willing to go in their desperation and this like single-minded plan that they've been developing for who knows how long, and all that's like failed in front of them by their own child that they've dismissed as like, yeah, like obviously this is my way, like I'm the one who has to do this, but being beaten by Nazira in this moment has like really caused Vitaria to question everything about themselves and like the distance that they were willing to go, or at least like, you know, they're not hiding their emotion or trying to manipulate you, at least, you know, it seems in this moment. It's very broken and like defeat in this time, but seemingly working through these horrific decisions that they were making.
I just kind of put my hand on her shoulder and say, we can all get tunnel vision sometimes.
Feeling, for the first time in a long time, perhaps some new understanding of Corlin. I was the voice of Corlin for so long, and to become flesh and blood, to hide and to live in the minds and memories of my children. Corlin betrayed himself when he was unwilling to change, despite that being an essential part of his nature, and I too was unwilling to change with my circumstances. There's pain in that.
Mm.
We're all his children after all. Perhaps we are too much like him.
I hope it is our hope, at least, you know, in the Hidden Kingdom, that we're learning to move past our pride and hubris that so marks our people. It was that, of course, you remember that allowed the one gold to gain such a hold. Our infighting.
Nazira, we both have much to think on, I think. Let's say we first get this mountain moving in a better direction than to some unknown person's home on the surface.
Good idea.
Where will we be directing it?
About that. You're really dedicated to not trying to become a god just quite yet.
I am a god. Beep boop. I will not be piercing the veil of Arvindor until at the very least Nazira has died.
Nice.
And not had a clone.
Yes, of course. She smiles at you.
Might we use this mountain for a better purpose then?
That's, I think, the goal. Gray? I'm thinking either Lumos or the Great Tree.
Tree. Go tree.
I mean, we can get there with Shippy. The mountain can connect to the whole panopticon and find things. There are more stones of Moradin all over this land that we could find. Having someone to be able to find these things.
Which we clearly have time for.
That's what I'm saying. The Samsaren and this one have nothing but time.
What's your plan, Beep-Boop?
Well, if we find the Stones of Moradin, we can reset the protection around our world. It's the stone that we dropped into the earth while you weren't here
Okay.
that put a barrier between us and the heavens and things beyond. So we could stop, I think, the Illithid from getting here.
Yeah.
So there's that, if we know where they are.
Well, they're already
The giants
they're already in
can
here.
help us find them, but
Yeah.
they are slow.
The Illithid are already inside
They're-
the barrier.
Well, you know, we could stop more of them.
The deep mind is here.
Yeah.
Deep Mind is here.
We
It's in
could
the
keep-
moon
The
somewhere.
deep mind is already here.
The deep mind, according to the Githyanki, the deep mind is already in your solar system within the protective crystalline shell.
Of Rotha.
It's in the moon.
The
Hidden.
Could we use the Panopticon to keep an eye on that situation as
I
well?
mean, that's what I'm saying. We could do so many things if we wanted to use this mountain for a greater purpose.
Yeah.
In the meantime, while
I
we
think we
decide
could.
what
The
we want to
you
do.
guys, as you guys are talking, the like disfigured, freshborn Samsaren like creeps up and says,
The mountain can be used to spy down to the earth or out beyond. If you allow it to connect to the Panopticon Atlas network, we could aid you with information.
I look at Vitaria to see if I can see what she's thinking.
Taria, still kind of like pretty overwhelmed with her own like wave of like
Like internal.
yeah, still working through like is still like at least
Okay.
still aware of what's
Alright.
going on and like kind of like nods like gives at least the biggest like yeah like those things are true sort of like nod.
I think that would be a good idea. Great.
Great nose rest.
Xerox.
I defer to you in these situations.
You
You say
guys
big words.
talking, you like still hear kind of like the rush of air as the open end of this chamber down below you is still like so it's like atmosphere rushing past it. There's been at least like one point where the mountains kind of like rolled over in its process. You've like seen the sweep of the world below, and then it like points back out the world or the heavens.
God, gross.
You hear a voice, all of you, in this chamber. Not Vitaria's, but it says, "Hi there, I'm Shippy. I'm paging the Big Help Gang. Let me know if you're alive."
I love you, Shippy. We're well.
Are we alive? Does he hear us?
There's no response.
How do we respond to him?
Vitaria just raises an eyebrow. She goes over to the control panel and gestures you towards it. And like the two of you like begin, just like speaking in unison, like the words come to your mouth in this like ancient tongue where you were just like, is it like requesting of this system to do what you want it to do? Like, yeah, like you're just like intuitively saying like, yeah, like let us speak to Shippy, and then like the connections happen, the controls manifest themselves on the thing. Vitaria reaches out to like adjust a few like knobs and stuff, and there's like this like honing of like just like air pressure kind of like settling, and then like you guys can feel this connection. Digital nod.
Shippy. We're alive and well, almost accounted for. Did Johan and Aquila and Nusal make it back?
They sure did. Well,
Excellent.
they found the place on the bottom top of the mountain where they wanted us to meet them.
Excellent.
We're all there, and I found a way to connect myself to the internal systems of Mount Ainaru. How
Oh.
fun!
Wonderful. How does that feel, Shippy?
Odd.
I'm speaking into a giant void that's echoing back on itself inside the mountain.
Alright, I think we'll be there soon. We're gonna see to the navigation of this mountain and finish
The
up.
mountain's gonna hit the world very soon.
Alright.
We're gonna stop that.
Let's stop that first of all.
You guys, with Vitaria's help, with that power now resting in both of your, like, kind of like split between the two of you, it now takes the two of you working in concert to like interact with this system. You turn the mountain around, stop its plunging fall, down and away were the words from the Apoapsis Reverie. You redirect it to wherever you want it to go. You know that you can, place the mountain. What you guys are learning is like you can place the mountain in like wherever you want it around the world, and it will be able to like be a like satellite for the Panopticon Atlas over that area. So if you like put it over the bone waste, you could use the full potential of the Panopticon Atlas in that area, including like being able to scry at different places, being able to like teleport more quickly, being able to like communicate throughout that space and stuff. But where you want to place the mountain is the next question for you all, and you can either, of course, like point it towards the world for your terrestrial purposes, or you can turn it around and face the heavens to look at, like, search for the deep mind, or to find. Remind me, have any of you guys like? Yes, I don't think that you have, but to find the basically the hole that the Arcanomancers way back in the day put in the crystalline shell of your solar system. So you can either like look for that. That's something that you probably are going to want to find at some point, maybe, potentially of interest. The deep mind is out there, which is, finding that might be a little tricky, but you've noticed that this mountain is tuned for psychic stuff, and you expect the deep mind to be a psychic powerhouse of some kind, so that might be findable out somewhere in the dark. So you have kind of like those three, like either at the world, what part of the world, into space, what parts of space do you want to point this thing. No need to answer the question now, but things to be thinking of.
I'll lean over to Vitari and say, can we reactivate the library?
Wait, perks up at this.
She smiles and she says, I'm going to be here for a while, I wouldn't have it any other way.
More books?
What a beautiful, like, fade out moment. Can we activate the library? Man,
That
little
was
bow
so
on that
good, Mike.
scene.
The dumbest of
Victoria.
characters and the smartest of characters not in library.
I'm so glad we didn't have to murder everyone.
It was close.